Exciting song, Blommers, THOBELA, LOTCHA, and welcome to another special episode of Blom and Podcast. I am Double KC, also known as Hotsa Chikana Mushimanyana Mupedi, Hotapolo Limpo, Pakera THOBELA, LOTCHA, and we're just gonna be here, man, having absolute fun, edutainment, and obviously unpacking and meeting upcoming and new artists in the entertainment industry. We are coming live at you from 27 Boxes in Melville. We have our first market share. It's also our first live podcast. So it's super exciting for us. We are excited again to be here, just celebrating our first podcast. What more can I say? That's what we're going to do. We're surrounded by entertainment, creativity. There's people out here who are, just showcasing their products, services, talent. It's just a day of full marketing and I don't know what to call it. What do you think we should call it?
Vibes.
I
like the word vibes.
vibes.
Full day of vibes.
Yeah. And we're proudly sponsored by On Point Beverages. Unleash your true essence. Remember that drinking does reduce the ability to drive. So do not drink and drive. Just Blom and Podcast. Not alone. Sasha is here.
You boy, you already know what time it is. We're coming back to you with more edutainment. Now, guys, that I'm always adding the disclaimer of our show in our podcast. So I'm gonna read it out loud for everybody to hear. So don't at us, okay?
Yeah.
It says the following show is presented in its original form. The views, information, or opinions expressed by the individuals involved on the podcast are solely the views of the individuals involved and do not represent the views of our podcast. The views of the individual involved and or of the podcast sometimes do not represent absolute facts. The views, information, or opinions expressed by the individuals involved can change at any time. So if we are spitting facts that we feel like are not right, do not at us. Tell us properly, and then the next episode we will just fix it up and be like, okay, guys, our apologies, because sometimes we just speaking our own minds, and guys, no, we're not gonna do that.
I think they got you, friend. They got you. They got you. Without even wasting any further time, sorry, my brother, for wasting your time and doing all of this PR work.
Not at all.
We are sitting today with the one and only DJ LEZ, also known as Lesedi Mukoni. He is events host, a musician, a DJ, and a businessman. Did I say it correctly?
That's correct, yeah. DJ LEZ, businessman. Always say businessman is just a fancy word for hustler.
Yeah.
Because you work hard at the end of the day. You're looking for opportunities, finding them, grabbing them. So, yeah. That's my opinion.
Nice. And obviously, DJ LEZ rather, you were born and bred somewhere. We don't know where. It's the first time we're meeting you. We'd love to know where you come from.
Okay.
And just tell us that, where you come from. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. And I just want to just say hi to your entire team. You have a really awesome team. I love the positive energy that you guys have here. And thank you for having me.
Sure.
So I was born in Rustenburg in the Northwest Province.
Hey, shout out.
That's where I was born. But ever since I was 3 years old, I've been living in Joburg. So I grew up here. I'm a North boy, and just left Joburg. Obviously, I've traveled quite a bit, been to, outside of SA, other African countries, Europe, etc. But I only left for I'd say a significant amount of time to go and study. I studied at Rhodes University. So I'm a Rhodes alumnus and studied chemistry, which has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now, funny enough. But that's a bit of my outs and abouts.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you moved because of studying. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct, yeah.
Rhodes University.
That's correct.
Chemistry. Why?
Yes, sir. Why
Why?
chemistry?
Yeah.
Okay, so interestingly enough, I've always liked biology in particular, and I was really good at it. Life sciences was one of my distinctions in matric, and I actually, funny enough, when I selected my subjects at the end of grade 10, I did not choose life sciences. I chose a subject called civil technology. I don't think all schools have it, but my high school had it. And it's an engineering based subject. You know, if you want to go into civil engineering, we used to design buildings and, learn to work with tools and all of that.
Yeah.
And then I realized that it's a very, nothing to say, nothing against engineers or anything. It's very static. I found it to be very static.
That's fair.
I like dynamic subjects. Biology is very dynamic. As you're studying something else is changing. You've got to learn systems, balancing things, etc. So I literally dropped it at the end of grade 10, and then I took up life sciences from grade 11 to matric. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do science. Also, the reason I wanted to study science was I've always been interested in the medical side of things. And I actually did want to become a doctor.
What type of doctor?
A neurosurgeon, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. So one thing about me is that I always aim for the highest achievements in whatever I do. So I can't just go to gym. I've got to go to gym. I've got to go to gym to be a bodybuilder. I can't just swim. I've got to swim to be an Olympic athlete, or at least do some kind of competition, mid-mile, mile, something like that, So I always aim for the highest level of whatever I do. And I thought, hey, neurosurgery, I mean, come on. There are two things that are considered really difficult, rocket science and brain surgery, right? So I was like, why not choose brain surgery, aspire to that? But I realized throughout my studies at university, I actually am interested in a lot of things. I mean, everyone who knows me while I was studying knows that I would be on different societies. I used to be on the Astronomy Society, the Rhodes Astronomy Society. I was on the committee. I was chairperson of the Rhodes University Chemistry Society.
Nice.
I played music.
Nice.
I used to run. I used to swim. I was on the Rhodes swimming team. I used to tutor. I coached swimming. I did so many things. And I think entrepreneurship allows me to be more dynamic than a traditional so-called career path. Yeah.
Right.
Wait. Before you say you've like left South Africa and moved to different.
No, I've only traveled, not lived anywhere
not lived,
extensively.
okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Which countries have you traveled to?
Okay, so Botswana is the only African country outside of SA that I've traveled to, and I've been to all 9 provinces, and I've also traveled across Europe. Italy, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Austria. Yeah.
Nice.
So
nice.
like, what of like all those countries that you traveled to? Which would you say was like your favorite?
Germany by far.
Why? Because the sun doesn't set there.
No, not that it doesn't. Well, it sets late in summer, but man, I just loved how organized Germany is. I really liked how advanced it is, well, by South African standards. Funny enough, if you go to Germany, they'll say, no, we're not advanced. Japanese people are advanced. You know what I mean? It's always relative. But I just like the beauty, the history, and yeah, just how everything works like punctually, I think so. My favorite city in Germany is actually Munich. It's called München in German. It's in the state of Bavaria. That's, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I stand to be corrected. Bavaria is, I think, the wealthiest state in Germany with, I think, a 6% unemployment rate. Think about that.
What?
Okay?
Yeah, the whole country.
Right.
But anyway, let's not go there.
So there's a lot of wealth, and I was just coming from South Africa, taken aback by how wealthy normal people can be, because it's normal, to be wealthy in some countries. And the cleanliness, guys, like, I mean, if you go to a South African CBD, I mean, that's enough said, right? We have a lot to work on that. But just seeing how other countries really take cleanliness so seriously. There are people who have jobs literally just to clean the streets and sweep the streets, and it's so clean. Like, it's actually scary how clean it is. I was like, did you guys just do this because we are here? You know what I mean? But Germany was really, really amazing. BMW Museum, all the amazing companies and cars they have there. I mean, Munich taxis, the metered taxis? It's Mercedes-Benz in Munich.
You lie.
Cream white Mercedes-Benz. So, man, that was really amazing. But yeah, there's something unique in every country around the world. I was just answering your question, Germany, and I became obsessed with it. Like, even learned German, I speak a bit. And
can you shout out your people in German? Let's hear.
Yeah.
Is it Deutsch?
yeah, what can I say? Ja, zusammen in Deutschland, Österreich, Liechtenstein, der Schweiz, herzlich willkommen und ich sage Hallo aus Johannesburg.
Yeah.
So guys, we're gonna put subtitles in. I don't know what he just said, but we're gonna go to Google Translate now. And we're going to put
Yeah, you need subtitles, yeah. But I must say also, one thing that really helped me was, obviously in South Africa we speak Afrikaans and it's a Germanic language. So if you can really learn the basics of one Germanic language, it helps you with others.
Nice.
You know, it makes it easier to learn others. Yeah.
So coming from Northwest.
It's raining hard. So I
Yeah,
didn't get
it
that.
is. Northwest is where you were born and bred.
Where I was born, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just born because I mean, before age 3, I really can't remember much. So I was born in Northwest, but bred in Joburg, I would say.
So what would you remember from those?
I remember, my grandparents. I have my maternal grandparents are really amazing. I remember them, quite present in my life. And my aunts, my cousins, a few grand uncles and grand aunts as well. And I just, because it was during like my early childhood, I used to go to creche in the Northwest in Rustenburg. It was called Little Schoolhouse. That was my nursery school.
Little Schoolhouse.
Really, really cool. I remember the school name and going to school, but I don't really remember what we used to do. I mean, what do people do in nursery school anyway, right?
Just take naps,
and
tensions,
color, and that's what.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and Rustenburg, is quite, I mean, it's technically Rustenburg. It's a very Afrikaans, not very Afrikaans, but it's a very strong Afrikaans, town Afrikaans in Setswana. So, I think that's where I picked up a lot of, Afrikaans and, it was, if people grow up in big cities like Joburg, it's like, why are you talking to me in Afrikaans? It's a bit weird. I don't know. But outside, like in the Northwest, the Free State, Northern Cape, it's normal. It's spoken
so
more than
normal.
English and people
So
speak
normal,
to
it's
each other, in it. So
I think Afrikaans traumatized us so much.
No, fully.
We don't want to hear it.
as a subject, guys, it's a national language.
I don't
Come
even
on.
celebrate Youth Day because of Afrikaans. Literally.
It's too much.
Look, like you guys were having a political segment earlier, obviously there's a lot of politics behind things like Youth Day, and it is your choice whether you want to celebrate it.
Yeah.
But,
That's true.
I mean, if people speak a language, it's their language.
What's your take about what we were talking about earlier on, actually?
What's my take on what you were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
So I just caught a snippet of what you were saying.
What did you get?
I heard you guys talking about what you think about the president resigning, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not particularly, that knowledgeable with legal stuff, but whatever steps need to be taken.
He's moving for the US. You don't know what's happening in South Africa.
Look, I mean, obviously, I mean, I think he studied law, if I'm not mistaken, and I would imagine he does know which steps to take. I heard that he's doing some consultations. I read an article in Business Tech that he's doing consultations and everything.
Yeah.
Hence, he couldn't give that address the other night.
True.
So whatever steps he needs to take. And I think we'll leave it up to the law and the courts and the powers that be, as everyone says. Yeah.
I feel like you...
Because most of the time people give opinions, but they actually don't know what they're talking about. Like, so if I'm not very knowledgeable about the actual letter of the law and what steps need to be taken after the findings...
So I was about
I don't
to
want
ask
to be
him,
ignorant.
are you referring to us?
Me, I'll take my L. Me, I'll take accountability for what I said. I don't know the full law, the gravity of it. I had to break it down, I don't know that.
Yeah.
But all I know is that like my opinion usually just like formulates off of like things that I hear from the news. You get me? I don't really know things like to the T, like in terms of
I don't
law.
think many of us do actually. Even people who publish the findings, the lawyers and the I don't know, the judges.
Yeah.
I think it's also like they need a consensus. It's not just one person who makes the final decision. There needs to be a majority judgment.
Yeah.
So we all need a collective field of knowledge to make such big decisions, because it is a big decision. You don't just resign as a president.
You don't.
It's a big deal.
But anyway, wait, before sorry friends. Who do you be traveling to these countries with?
But
family.
he wants to be your plus one.
Also during school, like it was school tours. Yeah, it's different people.
Why would you say that?
No, but about plus
What?
one, you don't just ask that.
Actually, like
Maybe a plus
there are
one.
no lies.
Hey, look,
There are no lies.
I was part of an organization that where we actually used to travel.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, we started getting really deep into the travel when lockdowns started hitting.
Oh.
But we really wanted to go all throughout Africa, you know, Rwanda, Uganda, all those countries. I'll hook you up.
Please do, because like my dream is to go to Ethiopia. I just want to go
Okay.
to Addis Ababa one time
Yeah.
so that I can sing that one song. So
Don't worry, I'll
high.
plug you. I'll plug you.
Right.
Plug you with flights, everything. Don't worry. I got
Okay,
you.
cool. Yeah.
Back to getting to know DJ Les, because I
Mm.
feel like we're comfortable. He's a very comfortable guy to have around.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure. So, do you have any siblings?
I do. I have really awesome brothers. It's only boys in the family. So I have two younger brothers. I'm the eldest. So I have a brother who is 19. He lives in Spain.
Mhm.
And my youngest brother is 14.
Lives in Hispaniola.
Yeah, my
Yay.
youngest brother is 14. He lives in SA because he's still in school, obviously. Yeah.
What inspires you guys to move abroad? King, what's
Hey, so he's a professional soccer player.
Oh.
And he just found it best to play in Europe.
Which team?
Yeah.
Which team?
So he's currently training under FC Malaga. Yeah, that's in Spain. Yeah.
Hey, people are gone, guys. Hey, you need to wait.
It's not possible. What I'm hearing is hurting my heart. I got a great really cheesy show.
But I mean, you just spoke earlier about going to Finland and Denmark.
No, fully.
Yeah,
Fully.
so
Me, I want to move there.
I think the world is globalized. It's time for it, you know.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
Yo, that is so
It's time for it.
awesome, bruh.
It is
Shout out to your
awesome,
brother
man.
one
But
time.
hey, you miss your siblings when they're away. Hey,
Mm.
one does really miss them. But
Mm.
yeah, it's festive, so we'll be together as a family and looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so nice.
What I'm getting from what you just said now is that you
Mhm.
have a very united family.
Mm.
Family means a lot to you
does.
guys.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I would like to know, growing up, how was
Mm.
treatment from your parents?
My parents.
specifically?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good question. So I believe I have really awesome parents. Like my parents are incredible, and they've been. You know, if I were to write up a list of my role models, I have role models for different things, different goals, different aspirations. I have a role model for each. But life role models, definitely my parents, because their tenacity, their work ethic, man, it's incredible. Like my parents work so hard.
Mm.
It's crazy. But also they didn't, funny enough, a lot of people ask me, as a firstborn, don't you feel pressured to like maintain a certain standard and all of that? I've never had that from my parents. They've treated myself and my siblings equally. And parents make enormous sacrifices for their children.
That's true.
And seeing that, as a kid, you don't see it.
Mhm.
But while I was growing up and I realized, oh my word, my parents actually sacrificed this and this and this for me to have this and this. It's really humbling. And no one's perfect. No one's parents are perfect.
Absolutely.
But man, you just look at the good. And I'm really grateful for my parents. Yeah.
Who's your favorite
So-
parent?
I don't have a favorite
No,
parent.
it can't be.
No, look.
There has to be the
look,
one parent.
No,
that you
I
like.
don't believe
There's
in
no
favorites.
faves.
I think, look, maybe you can relate more to one parent than another. That's a fact.
Mhm.
I know parents as well. I've heard of parents relating better to one child, and then they sometimes mislabel that as their favorite
Their
child.
favorite
Exactly.
child.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah.
There
But
are
no,
no
it's just a
faves.
personality thing. Sometimes people will have similar personalities. Other times you'll have personality clashes with your parents, siblings,
Because
children,
they actually
whatever.
gave birth
But
to
it
their
doesn't
replica.
mean you should call that person your favorite.
Mm.
Without the other, there are certain things you wouldn't have. So
Damn.
yeah,
So speaking of like the sacrifice.
that's my parents are gonna see this. So
No, that's why. I got you. I got you.
Okay, so like speaking of like the sacrifices, the enormous sacrifices you speak of that your parents have done. Can you tell us a bit more about like your educational background, like where?
Okay, my educational background.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've already discussed this. So now I want to go into primary
Yeah.
and high school
All right.
and your experience in tertiary.
I hope you guys all have a cup of coffee. Buckle up, buttercup. It's gonna
Let's
get
go.
wild.
We are
Let's do
ready.
this. Okay. So primary school.
Yeah.
My first primary school. I can literally go back to creche if you want.
Mm,
Take it
But I'll
off.
start from primary school just to keep
Mhm.
it standard.
Okay.
So my first primary school, is still called Risidale Primary. It's right next to Cresta Shopping Center in Randburg.
Oh, okay.
So I went there from grade 1 to halfway through grade 3. Was it grade 3? Yeah, halfway through grade 3. And because we moved house, it was closer for me to move to another school. So the second school I went to from grade 3, term 2, to grade 7 was Panorama Primary School. That is in Belterfrieden Park. Not far from Clearwater Mall. I don't know if you know where Clearwater Mall is.
Okay.
Then high school, I went to Allen Glen High School. That is also in Belterfrieden Park. Technically walking distance from my primary school, from my second primary school. So yeah, we lived in the area. It just made more sense. It was more, why go to a school far away, you know? And my claim to fame at high school is I went to the same high school as Musi Maimane. But he went long before I did. He's much older than me. Yeah, that's my claim to fame.
Coming together.
And also, I don't know if you've heard of George Avakian. I hope I got his surname right.
Yeah.
He won SA's Got Talent a few years ago. I can't remember the year. He also went to my high school. The beatboxer. There we go. He also went to my high school. And those are the two famous people I know who went to Allen Glen. Tertiary, I went to Rhodes University. The motto for Rhodes is where leaders learn. That's the English motto. There's a Latin motto as well. I think it's called Vis Veritas. It's 3 words, but it's truth, faith, and something else. Forgot. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Rhodes. But Rhodes was amazing, man. I think it's the most liberal university in South Africa.
Is it?
I think so. It's really chilled. Like,
why do you say so?
Okay, few reasons. I remember because I stayed in Res. First year Res, it was compulsory for us to attend a play, like a theatrical performance. They literally took register, and I think the essence of that is to introduce you to the arts, irrespective of what you're studying. I studied science, but I still have an appreciation for the liberal arts. You know, I go to art galleries, Melrose Gallery, Keys Art Mile. Is that what it's called in Rosebank? I really appreciate art, even though I didn't study it because of the influence from my university. The liberal political ideologies as well, like Rhodes is very welcoming, you know, in terms of whatever your political ideologies are. I remember in Res, if you did not want to drink alcohol, it's totally okay. Like, no one's going to make fun of you. I know other universities, it's a thing. Like, you have to drink. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's a must.
It's not like in the constitution of the institution, but it's so, the societal pressure is so strong. I'm not going to mention names, but when I hear about the things that happen at other universities, you know, I realize Rhodes is very liberal. I mean, people would go to lectures without shoes. I know it happens at other universities. But at Rhodes, I think it's per capita higher. Like, there was this guy at Rhodes. They used to call him No Shoes Bruce because he would always go to lectures barefoot, you know. Very interesting. You'd get, lecturers with very eccentric views on certain things, and that is okay. It's welcomed. It's encouraged. What I also like about, so it's called Makanda now, the town that Rhodes University is situated in. It was called Grahamstown before that.
Oh, Grahamstown is now changed to...
Yeah, it's just so, it's small. I think it's only about 60,000 people. Everything is walking distance. Everything's really affordable. As a student with a tight budget, you know, it's really a nice place to live. And I really cannot complain about that town. I learned a lot, grew a lot as well. And I'm happy that I went to the university I went to. Yeah.
DJ LEZ, you sound like a very focused child. Like in primary, I can imagine how you were. You sound like you were very, very focused. You knew why you were there.
You were the one that delivered like morning speeches.
Nah. And then got assembly about a prayer. It's like, I'm available.
The king of public speaking, most probably.
I think I started. So yes, public speaking, definitely. I mean, poetry, speeches. I did that as extramurals from primary school throughout till matric. And also it helped me throughout university when I was on the committees of different societies, delivering speeches and, you know, Even now, it's helping me in hosting because I host events as well,
Mhm.
and it's really helpful. It's a good skill to have, and I'm grateful for it. Yeah.
Nice. So, what kind of child would you say you were back in primary? Like, were you naughty? Were you
Yeah.
focused? What kind of?
Okay.
I feel
So-
like he was the more focused one.
So early, no,
Let's
look,
order.
hey, it's actually the opposite. Hey, early primary, I was quite naughty. I don't know if I was actually naughty or if I was just being suppressed. I don't know.
Suppressed
I'll
by
have to
what?
check. Maybe I was expected to conform to a system that I'm not naturally inclined to. I remember getting detention a lot, especially in grade 1 and 2. Like I was in the principal's office. I don't know how many times.
Not grade one.
My parents, no, for reals, eh?
Yeah.
My parents were called in. I mean, my parents, shame, man. They were called in a lot. And then, yeah, I'm grateful to my dad because he really does know how to put someone on the straight and narrow. And,
Shambok.
you know, not really, not always actually, literally very little smacking or anything, literal talks. Like my dad is really good at making
shout
a
out to your
point, you know?
dad.
No, he was a teacher, so he knows how to deal with
Okay.
children. In a proper way, not in like, you know, a crazy way, like some parents. Anyways, so I think, yeah, I just got it that, hey, I can't just do what I want. I've got to, you know, I live around people. There's something called society. I have to behave appropriately. And then throughout the rest of my primary school career, I think that's where the focus of taking up those extramurals, doing a bit of sports came in. And also, I'm just grateful to, you know, the church I grew up in as well. I'd say, because I come from a Christian family and the values and the principles that my parents instilled in us, those are very grounding. And yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Primary,
Yeah.
you enter secondary
Yes.
school.
Okay.
This is where life starts to, I believe, expand. You know, you
Yes.
start meeting different people from
Yeah.
different towns, different personalities. Where do you find yourself? Yeah.
Okay, so in high school, funny enough, I was such a nerd, guys. Like, I was a nerd and probably a bit of a geek as well. Because in the mornings when I arrived at school, I don't know if you guys know this, it's a game called Foursquare. You stand on like a concrete
Oh yes, and then the
floor,
sports,
and then you draw out 4 squares and you
Yeah.
have a tennis ball and you're playing it with your hands.
We went to Buja
And then
School.
there are like 4 positions. If I remember them correctly, it's king, queen,
I know the king and queen.
something, and toilet. I know the worst one is toilet.
Toilet,
Everyone
yeah.
starts at toilet and you want to get to king. Okay. So, yeah, like I used to play that and I really enjoyed it, but I think it's very nerdy. Only nerds play Foursquare. Well, back in that time.
Yeah.
I don't know now. I think everyone does it now. I don't know. I could be wrong. But so that's what I, you know, hang around. I'd say smart kids. You know, towards the end of high school, I started really excelling academically, like top 10. You know, I had like those, you know, those kids with the badges.
And with the
Yeah,
best
that
and
was
the
me.
blazer.
And then I also
Everything
did
was-
athletics. So I had an athletics badge. I did 800 meters long distance. And I swam, but not officially. I only really joined like a school sport team at Rhodes. And yeah, that's what I did. Academics and a lot of public speaking, few extramurals. Yeah. I played chess in primary school. I forgot to mention that.
No, you're smart. No, DJ LEZ is
Played
smart,
chess,
guys. No,
and that was it was okay. I
Right.
played on a school level, and I think I realized it got boring after a while. I mean, I played it from the age of 8 until I think I was in grade 6, which is 12, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Got a bit boring after a while, but I still enjoy it, and I still beat people when I play it. Yeah.
Nice. So, what would you say? Obviously, you wanted to be a doctor,
Correct. Yeah.
and secondary, that's where you choose your subjects.
Yeah.
Now you end up in entertainment. You run
Mhm.
your own companies. It's
Mm.
complex. We'll get there.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows what's going on in here, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
What was going on? Let's know. What was going
I
on?
think so initially, especially in university, I used to think, man, dude, like, why are you doing so many things? What's up with you? You're here to study, just focus on studying. But then later on, I realized if you have many interests and talents, use them, you know? What's the point of just letting your talents die or go to waste? And also, I think one thing I realized is a talent is also, it has a need of being expressed. I mean, if I suppress something that I'm gifted at, it's gonna hurt me. I'm literally suppressing it, and that's not healthy.
And who's gonna give it to the world?
Who's gonna give it to the world? And one of the people, obviously, I like looking at people in the past. Leonardo da Vinci is also someone I've looked up to in terms of talents. I mean, he was a scientist, an engineer. He was an artist. Why not? Why not?
Where do you learn your French?
Where do I learn my
Where do
French?
you learn your French?
Very interesting. So funny enough, where did my interest of French come from? Because the German interest came from Germany, but the French interest, I can't remember. I just really started liking the fanciness. If you watch movies,
No.
honestly, I
Be
can't
honest.
think. I really cannot think of a pivotal moment, but you're watching movies like The Duchess with Keira Knightley, and you look at the way they dress, and you look at the buildings and the class and the intricate dances they had, and those hairstyles and everything. You're like, wow, this is really cool. And I think I just developed a love for it. And then my dad bought me, I remember specifically this one book. It was a really small book, like thin and also, probably like that small.
Yeah.
From CNA. CNA used to have these language packages like
Yes.
Portuguese,
Oh my
French,
gosh, yes.
Spanish, Greek,
I
whatever.
remember.
So I got the French one. My dad bought me the French one, and I just started reading it in my leisurely time from grade 7, and I just picked it up. And then on TV, on DSTV, there's this channel called TV 5 Monde. It's a French channel, and I would watch shows like Question pour un champion, which is like the weakest link but French. And I just picked up the vocab, and I just picked it up. I'd say I'm gifted with languages. I picked them up easily, and just for fun.
Okay, wait. So, like, I'm a person that's trying to study French, right?
Okay.
That's trying to study French
Yeah.
right now. So, like, how do I go about like incorporating that? Because I feel like it's difficult to like adapt to another language.
True.
So to say, because like me, the only words I know are very vulgar words in French.
That's how you learn a language. You start by learning.
I would advise you learn by greetings first. But look, language learning, it takes time.
Yeah.
It really takes time. Don't be impatient and expose yourself constantly to the language. Why do we know English? Because we're constantly exposed to it.
Yeah.
We watch English shows.
Yeah.
We listen to English news. We read English articles. Do the same, but with the language you want to learn. There's so much French content on YouTube. And luckily, we live in an age where it's not boring. It's not like someone sitting there saying, "Good morning. This is how you say hello in French." No, it's people like get ready with me videos, like people saying, "Hey guys, I live in Paris. This is what my day looks like," but everything is in French. People, saying, "Hey, I'm going to work. This is what a typical work day looks like for me. This is what a French bakery is like. This is what a chair is." And they literally walk you around and expose you to everyday things in the language. There's a really good channel on YouTube called Easy French. Check it out. People ask everyday questions. They have podcasts just like this in the language. And the number one thing about learning a language is listening, because you can read it, but if someone speaks to you, reading and listening are two different things. So I'd recommend you listen as much as you can. In the beginning, you will need subtitles while watching the content, but try to not use them, because that's not how you learned English, right? Your parents spoke to you in the language or your home language. There were no subtitles. Challenge yourself.
We must learn French. We're going to US next year. We have listeners in the US.
You're going to the US,
The
okay.
US, yeah, so we might as well know a bit of French, know a bit of something.
Hang on a second, you're going to the US?
No, we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go.
Okay, so you don't need French for that.
No, but at some point we're gonna hit Paris. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yes.
At some
Funny
point, we're gonna hit Paris.
enough, the world is so anglicized, guys. Like, English is the world language, and if you go to Paris and you speak English, it won't be a problem. Maybe some people might be a bit
The only reason
apprehensive,
why I want to
but they'll
speak
understand
French
you.
is so that I can go to DRC and do
Okay.
that.
Hey,
And
yes.
see, show me other ways.
The
Steve.
dance. I love that dance,
Do you want to
guys.
do it first?
Maybe not on this podcast. Can I tell you why?
Why?
Because the last time I did it about 3 weeks ago at a club. And then one of the attendees, because I was hosting, and then one of the guests said I look like a stripper because of the way I was dancing. So I was like, you know what? I probably shouldn't be
Stick to
doing
what
that
you do.
anymore. Yeah. I need to avoid that. Yeah.
All right. I'm listening to what you've been saying. What I'm getting from all of this is that you grew up Softly,
Oh, my word.
softly. Because I was about to ask you, how was it like being a student in Joburg? I mean, for me, I can tell you now, the past 3 years have been it's hard, it's challenging. You know, it has its own complexities
Yeah.
on a daily basis. So, listening from your side, I feel like everything was there for you.
Not
everything-
necessarily.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I mean, look, I'm very grateful, like I said, parents made, and, you know, for them to reach what they have reached, it's from working hard and them suffering, you know. And I think if you speak to my dad in particular, he will say, why must my children go through a hard time when I went through a hard time? You know, my dad grew up in Soweto. He was 10 years old in 1976.
Yo.
So he saw
Yo.
the heights of apartheid.
Yo.
He saw
As a
what it
youth.
means to not have opportunities. And for him to accomplish what he's accomplished today. Obviously, it's not about my family or my parents. This podcast is about me. But the point I'm trying to make is if you also work hard to lay a foundation for your children, they will benefit from it, you know? But one thing I really dislike is there are a few people who say I'm privileged and all of that. And I don't think necessarily. I mean, the reason I'm not in science right now is because when I finished university, I literally couldn't get a job. Like, I was applying for jobs everywhere. I mean, I'm talking Sasol, I'm talking Total, I'm talking Engine, BMW, Porsche, you know, even banks like CIB programs at different banks and everything. I literally couldn't get a job. And I was like, okay, all this effort that I'm putting into applying for a job and finding work, I might as well just put it into running a business. It was just the logical thing to do. And that's where my businesses came from. So hardship, no one's immune to hardship. And anyone who's an entrepreneur will tell you that running a business, guys, is extremely difficult. I was saying to one of my friends that one of my goals was to climb Mount Everest. But I was like, you know what? I've started a business. Never mind. I don't need to climb Mount Everest anymore. I've accomplished
It's hard
something
enough.
incredibly difficult
Yeah.
and I'm satisfied, you know? So yeah, it is, life is tough for everyone,
Yeah.
literally.
That's true.
Yeah,
Speaking about your businesses, you have two companies.
that's correct.
You have a marketing company which serves clients in Mzansi, which rather served clients in Mzansi, Kenya, Hong Kong, South Korea,
Mhm.
and the United States.
That's correct, yeah.
Marketing company. Tell us about it.
Okay, so my marketing company is called Keylates Digital. And that's the first company I actually started. So when I was like, okay, what can I do? I have a laptop, I have Wi-Fi. I got to do something, you know,
Yeah.
and got it registered. And I was really blessed in the first month of working. I'm very grateful that I have an extensive network. I've worked with my dad for many years in network marketing. So throughout that time, I've built quite an extensive network of people. And yeah, I got my first international client, a guy from Hong Kong. He wanted a video for an app that he was creating and put it together for him. He paid me in Bitcoin. Can you believe?
Bro!
Yeah, for real.
Bro!
And I was like, okay, cool. That's business. Because Bitcoin, obviously, you save money with cryptos. You don't have all the banking charges and it's immediate. You don't wait a weekend for the banks to open. And then the South Korean is a lady. Same thing, also wanted to promote an app. And then in the US, there's a company based in Delaware that wanted a presentation for their content.
Yeah.
And then in SA, obviously, it's everyday clients that I work with.
So I want to know,
Oh,
DJ LEZ, what do you think you did that attracted these clients to your brand? Because obviously
Okay.
the starting
Mm.
process of building a company is very difficult. It has its own challenges, and you don't just get to where you want to be in just
Yeah.
click of a finger. So I want to know, what do you think you've done to build your company to where it was at that point?
That's a very good question.
And then, for the client in Hong Kong to pull through, what do you think?
Okay, good
was
question.
Yeah.
Have you heard the saying, your network is your net worth? Have you heard that saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so the people you know and the people you network with are literally going to be your support structure. They're going to be your economy. And I'm very grateful to have worked in network marketing for a year. I was helping my dad build up a network marketing company. And man, the connections I made there were incredible. People from all over the world, literally all over the world. Nigeria, Russia, Sweden, Denmark, hey, maybe not Finland, no one from Finland. But man, all over the world, Caribbean, the connections you make, guys, the power of networking is always, have you noticed as you grow older, you meet people who are associated with people you never thought they'd be associated with.
Yeah.
It's shocking every single time. You would be surprised that the lady who cooks at your school's cafeteria is friends with, I don't know, Patches
Manager.
Mutsepe's helper, for
Yeah.
example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you would never know how much networking power someone has. So if you know 100 people, if you know 150, 200 people, you can literally build a really strong network. Really, really strong network. So that's where it came from. The way I got my very first Hong Kong client, the guy from Hong Kong, I called a guy who works for a Forex broker who I know from network marketing. He's a guy originally from Zimbabwe, and he has worked for different brokerage firms. So where he was working at that time, he was working for a South African-based Hong Kong company. So I called him. I said, hey, man, I'm running a marketing company. I'm looking for clients. At that time, I wanted to build, I think it was a wallet, a crypto wallet. So then he was like, hey, I'll refer you to my colleague in Hong Kong. And then the guy in Hong Kong said, hey, Lesedi, I want to advertise my app. And that's how I got my clients. Literally.
That response to you should have meant the world to you.
It meant so
How
much
did
to
you
me.
feel?
I
How
was
did you
like,
feel?
I'm going to tell everyone that I have a client overseas, you know?
Oh.
Man, and it adds to your portfolio, you know? It's really powerful. It was so exciting, really, and very humbling as well. I was like, wow, I was really humbled because people take decades to get international clients, and I got it within the first year. It was really amazing. So the power is networking, guys. You know, don't be afraid to sit down, write down a list of people to contact, and you literally call them. Don't sell to them. Have a conversation with them. Check where they are in life, and in that conversation, you'll find, hey, you know, obviously you'll say what you do, and they will say, okay, I know someone who needs what you do. Everyone needs something that you do, and that's how you do it.
And I feel like with the youth, us as the youth, we are very afraid to, you know, knock on doors, approach people. We want and expect that people should be the ones knocking on our doors, saying, hey, I recognize this, I realize this, can I work with you? And that's not always the
I think
case.
it's because we're just like generally just really afraid of rejection in a sense.
True.
You know, and it's like also it's like you might be calling people asking them to like help you with your like way forward, but then you just like get really spiteful people.
No, that is true. But most people want to help other people. I mean, think about it. Everyone who has a job had to ask for it at some stage. So if someone's a CEO or a manager of a company, someone had to help them at some stage. And I think 80% of people, don't quote me on that stat, I've never read it, I'm just assuming, probably 80% of people know, hey, at some stage, I needed a job, I needed an opportunity, let me help someone. So don't be afraid of the 20% that will reject you. Most people do want to help other people.
You also have a financial company,
Yes,
which you know, aims to alleviate poverty
correct.
and give people financial wisdom. Tell us about that.
Okay, good question. So my financial company differs from my marketing company in that I started it with a partner, unlike my marketing company where I started it by myself. So the financial company, we had a really good target market. Most people, you know, who are retiring or who got retrenched, particularly over this lockdown period when companies were downsizing and retrenching people, they didn't know what to do with their, you know, their payouts and everything. So instead of buying a 60,000 Rand Gucci handbag, you know, make a productive decision with your payouts. And that's where we came in as a business. I have a very good friend of mine. Obviously, we work with licensed people, financial advisors, etc., because they are qualified to give out all the advice and everything. But my business partner, really incredible guy. He has 2 degrees, one in engineering, another in mathematical statistics. And I was like, okay, no, if I'm going to take an opportunity to run such a tight operation, this is the guy. And yeah, that's what we did.
2 degrees. The way I hate school.
No, for real,
would
hey,
never-
like, yo, I'm also like, dude,
I would never.
really, 2 degrees? Yeah.
It's hectic. So both companies, financial and your marketing, obviously weren't created at the same time, same year.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
His first degree he did at Stellenbosch, and then we met when he was doing his second degree at Rhodes. I was at Rhodes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And which company came first? Your financial company or
No,
your
my marketing company came
Okay,
first because that's
okay.
what I started immediately. Well, a year after graduation.
Did you think they're gonna work together? Did you create the financial company to merge into the marketing, or was just different entities, different vibes?
Well, the initial aim was not for them to work together. They are separate entities and they have separate goals.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know in the future. Sometimes it is better just for admin structure to structure one company under another.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the future holds, but for now, they deal in totally different and unrelated sectors. So it's best to keep them apart.
Okay. And on that note, what does your marketing company offer in terms of services and
Okay.
products?
Brilliant question. Thank you. Free marketing. Hey.
Yeah. I mean,
Cool. Okay. So we do essentially the core of marketing. So we do television advertising, radio advertising. We build websites and we do social media management as well. That is the core of our business. Video editing as well. So if anyone has video content or they want a promotional video for their business or for their work, that's what we do.
And what would you say are some of the most requests that you get from your company?
Business-wise.
Yeah, business-wise.
Definitely video editing by
Right,
far. Most
right.
people have a business idea or a product that they want to promote. And they'll say, hey, this is what my product does. This is what I do. Please put together a video that I can post on social media throughout various platforms, WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc.
Yeah.
And that's what I would do, put it together for them. That's by far my biggest service.
Nice. But you don't distribute it to any platforms. You just
It's up to the individual. Once I'm done with it and it's in their hands, they can do what they want with it because it is their content.
Yeah.
So they've paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
your company.
Yes.
You're saying you want to alleviate poverty.
Correct.
You want to give people financial wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
With the alarming percentage of people being, people who are poverty in South Africa.
Yeah.
How do you aim to, make this a success?
Okay.
Give me possible.
So this is a very tricky question because if I mention certain things,
Yeah.
SARS is a thing, I know a lot of people who they're.
Yeah. DJ, let's be honest. Come talk to us.
No. Look, I'm
Talk
being
to
honest.
us.
Look, okay, let me be honest.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I'm being honest. Honest doesn't mean open. Hey, honest doesn't mean open.
Be open then.
I can't be open for particular reasons.
Omitting is
I'm not
okay.
omitting anything. Look, if you're running a business with certain people who prefer to be unknown, you have to be very careful. Like your clients can't even know each other. If I send an email, I can't send like a torrent I can't send an email to 10 people at the same time. I literally have to send it to each individual at a time so they can't trace each other's email addresses because it's very private and sensitive information. So it's better to speak in person about the financial services.
You won this one.
Simply for confidentiality.
All right. Yeah. Take us to it.
Oh, guys, we really do apologize for the rain.
Yeah, it's
it's
doing
really
the most.
Yeah, but Dimubaguna, guys, they're
Really
showering us with blessings because we have Mr. Lesedi here. You get me?
Mr.
they're just
DJ
water down
Les.
blessings, shower down blessings.
Yeah.
You get me?
100%.
The International Crowd Run Top webinar is still relevant.
Okay, very good question. Oh, you
I
guys
did my research.
These guys are on another level.
I did my research.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I must give you an applause.
No way.
No, honestly,
No way.
that is research. Investigative journalists, they're talking about you. Hey.
That's
Tick. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, the network marketing company that I was a part of is Crowd One.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the presentations for that. Obviously, my presentations are still online. And if you Google me, you'll find me online. I guess that qualifies as famous, right? I mean, if you Google someone and you find them online, they're famous, right? So look, I'll take that.
Yeah.
If you're famous, you're famous. Appreciate it, live in it.
Yeah.
And that's me. I would say my breakthrough in network marketing. Yeah.
Is it still relevant? Is it still happening? People can still engage on it?
So no, I'm no longer doing presentations
Okay.
for Crowd One anymore. No.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have started my own companies. Yeah.
Would you rather tell us what was it about? Maybe?
Okay. So network marketing platforms, yes, there are different companies, but the bottom line is to make people make money, essentially. So this particular company has different platforms different platforms, different products, different tools that it used to market. People would just sign up to become a member, an affiliate. I think that's the correct term to use. And then you'd have major discounts on the packages that they offered. Things like travel discounts, healthcare and beauty product discounts. Like I'm promoting it all over again. But yeah, that's essentially what I did. I literally just did the presentations, introducing people to the platform and telling people more about it. Yeah.
So this thing was watched by people all over the globe. Did you know this?
Yes, it was launched particularly in Sweden. The head of the brains of the company, marketing team, strategizing team, CEO, managers, all based in Stockholm, Sweden. Yeah. Sverige.
I have a question for you. Based on your digital marketing company.
Yeah.
For someone who's currently starting or is, in the process of starting a company online, marketing plays a very huge role.
It is.
What advice would you give to them?
Okay, very good question. Is this general business advice for an online business or specifically for marketing?
Let's say online business. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So online business, I guess the core principles of any other business will relate to each other. If no one knows about your company, you're not going to get a client. I don't care how brilliant your products are. I don't care how brilliant your services are. If no one knows about it, you're not going to get a single client. So you need to at least tell people about your business. And that's where marketing comes from. Did you actually know that marketing is a branch of economics? Economics looks at human behavior, right? How human behavior affects the flow of money in a society, in an economy, right? So marketing is literally looking at how people behave, how you can capture their attention, how you can tailor what you are doing or show how what you have created or what you are offering solves their problems. That's what you've got to do. That's why one thing about marketing is your business and product not everyone's going to like what you do. That's the importance of target markets. Okay. You need to know who is my ideal client? What are their needs? What are their problems? How do I solve those needs and problems? And you tailor your marketing accordingly. And that's why you need consulting in marketing. Corporates have marketing teams. They have a lot of huge companies have a CMO, a chief marketing officer, simply because they're focusing on how to make their products attractive to their target markets. Yeah.
Welcome back. You're still live on Blowman Podcast, and we're chilling with DJ LEZ. Earlier on, we're still unpacking his business ventures, owning two companies, being a financial company and a marketing company. And right now, we're going to dive into the entertainment industry, what he has done in the entertainment industry. He has done hosting, he is a DJ, he's a musician. Guys, the list goes on and on. Bro, entertainment, I never thought. And listening to what you've said earlier on, business, this is who you are, this is what you do. Entertainment falls way back. Like it's not part of it.
Interestingly enough, right?
Yeah.
Look, I never in a million years thought I'd work in the entertainment space. I think anyone who knows me from, I'd say the past 5 years or so, would have probably also never thought that I'd be working in entertainment. But it's something I really fell in love with. Going back to that self-expression thing. Look, I have a business mind, and man, there is so much money in entertainment, guys. There is so much money. Think of all the amazing awards, the Grammys and the Emmys and the BETs and all of that. Think about how many entertainers are literal millionaires. Drake, Kanye West, Jay-Z, Beyonce. There is so much money in entertainment, and it is a good industry, You'd be surprised how many people look at artists as like, oh, look at you, you probably didn't do well in school. You probably, are a drug addict and you couldn't get a job. Now, what's left for you is only entertainment. No. I believe if you have a good business line, you can still, even if you're not an entertainer yourself, the hosting. I collaborate with celebs. I've collaborated with Zanele Potelwa literally a few weeks ago to host at a club called Sankai in Morningside, Santon. I've collaborated with a few artists doing different things, celebrities for MCing. In actual fact, when you collaborate with someone, your impact is so much bigger than just doing things alone, if you go to a club and say, hey, I'd like to host with such and such, they literally provide a budget for you. They provide riders for you. For those of you who don't know what riders are, number one, you don't go to clubs enough. And number two, riders are actually, I'd call it like a bucket of alcohol, drinks, and just, beverages for you to enjoy yourself there we go. It's sustenance, guys. You heard the word. But it's just for you to enjoy yourself while you having a good time at Groove. That's what riders are. And it's compulsory for DJs to have riders, by the way. You have to supply riders in addition to a budget. So the nice thing about hosting is that you get paid to have fun. And I can't think of a better job. I can't.
Literally.
Yeah.
You get paid for nothing.
But the thing is, you're going to sleep. Some clubs close. I know some clubs close at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So just be prepared to stay up. Yeah.
DJ LEZ is a multi-instrumentalist who plays the guitar, piano, and in addition, being a DJ, he has had live performances in front of crowds and drew his musical inspiration from bands such as Hillsong United, Bethel Church of Monsters and Men, and various Amapiano artists. Bethel Church of Monsters and Men.
Okay.
The title.
Okay, so
Wait.
I think I put a comma there, hey? Bethel Church is a band. Well, it's a church, but it has a band. And then Of Monsters and Men is another band altogether.
Oh, okay.
So that would have been weird. No, look, obviously, like I said, grew up in a Christian family.
Yeah.
I am a Christian.
Yeah.
And man, Hillsong United goes in, guys. Like, their releases, they're awesome. And outside of that, Of Monsters and Men, it's literally up there. I rank it really highly. Or up there, I must say. I don't know why I'm doing this. I think it's because of the camera, because I know the camera is like, but it's up there, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I love them so much, funny story. So I used to love watching Grey's Anatomy in high school. And I think season 8 is when they started introducing Of Monsters and Men songs in the soundtrack. And I was like, wow, this band, really good stuff. And literally the first song I learned to play on the guitar was an Of Monsters and Men song called, I forgot what it's called.
Remember?
I don't know why that's not coming. I can play the song from the top of my head, but I can't remember.
Can you sing it?
I can sing it.
Yeah, let's
I don't think I'm going to. Without my guitar, it sounds weird, guys. I'm going to be honest. No, without my guitar, it sounds weird. Literally.
So what
I can sing if you want me to sing, but without my guitar, nah. It's a bit dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. We'll go listen to Of Monsters.
There we go. I'll send you guys the name and you can add it to this video.
Yeah, we'll add it in the description on our YouTube video.
There we go. I'm promoting people today, hey?
No.
Guys, I need royalties.
That's what we do.
I need royalties. No, for real.
Wait.
For real.
Like, you get me.
That's the Blowin podcast for you. On that note, Guitar and piano, both being my favorite instruments, by the way.
Really?
I
Okay. What are the
love-
chances, hey, that I do both?
Right. Piano over guitar.
Yeah?
I feel like I prefer piano over
Look,
guitar.
look.
Because of hand cramps.
Look.
Jay.
Piano is more versatile. I mean, you can play the piano on its own and it sounds complete. Guitar, generally, you need a bit of drums, a bit of piano to give it a bit of, spice. But piano, I agree. If I had to choose, I would also choose piano.
So what are you saying about Umam Zahara or Samzans?
No, she's good. I'm not saying.
Okay. No, it's
That's a trick question.
Ah,
Have you studied law? Are you a lawyer? Are you a lawyer?
You fell right.
That is a trick
into it.
question. Wow, I saw that.
joking.
Zahara is a great artist. I love Loliwe. It's a great song. And I saw her the one time at a shopping mall. I was so starstruck. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No, it was so amazing.
Yeah.
I love you, Zahara. You're really cool. And this guy is trying to get me into trouble. I'm not falling for it.
No, I'm not. So with the instruments that you
Yeah.
play, guitar and piano, do you normally, compose your own music with it, or you just play to complement what you wanna, sing or
Okay.
perform to it? Yeah.
So all of the songs I've performed are cover songs. So I would perform a cover session,
Mhm.
and I've played guitar quite a lot at church as well. So yeah, it's never been my own songs. I do have a few songs I've written,
Mhm.
but I've never officially released them or played them publicly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So would you say
So
church?
you're saying you're coming into 2023 with like releases is what you're telling us. I bet we'll hold you to it.
We'll see. We'll see.
This mic is not sounding nice. Cameron,
I told you that this mic has problems.
it's not sounding nice, eh?
So now I have to kiss it. Ew.
Check the levels. Are they balanced?
Are they fine?
Okay. Yeah, no, you sound better. You sound better.
Okay, maybe I just need to do this then. Don't love.
They can't see you, so it's fine.
It's not fine.
It's fine. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Wow.
So my question was, would you say church is what inspired your music background?
To a large extent. Like I've always enjoyed gospel music, and a lot of my music practice has been to gospel songs. So yeah, I think it laid that foundation. But playing secular songs or non-church songs, that's been more of my public cover performance. Yeah.
Can I ask what was the first church song you've ever performed?
First church song I've ever performed. It was called. I think "You Have My Heart" by Hillsong.
Oh,
You Have
okay.
My Heart, yeah. It's "You Have My Heart." That's like how the chorus goes. I'm not gonna sing the whole thing.
LCRC, baby. I don't know these songs.
Do you
I
know-
think it's Taylor
I don't
Smith
know
who
that I
sings
listen
it.
to Elevation Worship.
No,
Mm.
I went to a
Elevation's also so good, hey.
My favorite
And
song is
Maverick City,
Surrender.
like proper.
Proper.
Yeah.
I love
Cool.
Hillsong.
My Hillsong is cool. And I think also like, I don't know, man, just that Australian vibe they have, eh? You know, I think one of the well-known leaders of Hillsong, of the band, is Darlene Zesh.
The girl.
Man, the lady, yeah. And
just
blonde, there we go.
Yes!
Blonde lady.
I
Man,
know
and
her.
like, when you listen to a song, you hear her say, "Come on, church," in that Australian
Yeah.
accent,
Yeah.
Oh man, if you watch like some of their sermons on TV, they're like, "Yeah, welcome church, welcome to Hillsong Church. Today we're just gonna invite everyone in."
I
And I'm
feel
like,
it's
"Oh,
so weird watching her sermons because I'm just used to her always singing.
yeah."
Do you
No,
get
not her sermons. I don't think she preaches any sermons. I don't think I've seen any. I
Really?
stand to be corrected again. But I'm saying in general, like
Oh, yeah.
Hillsong Church.
Yeah.
When you hear that
yeah.
Australian accent,
Yeah.
oh
Big
man.
bruh, come
Funny
on.
story. There's this one guy who grew up at my church, right? Then he went to go live in Australia for a bit. So I was still a kid. I think it was around 6 or 8 when he left SA. Then when I was around 16, 17, he came back. And then he performed live on stage. So he's like, with this Australian accent, he's like, "Guys, just lift up your hands." And I'm like,
Oh my
what?
God.
How did this guy start speaking like this, It was very fascinating. It was very fascinating. Yeah.
Nice man. So church gone to which church do you guys
So Rhema Bible Church in Randburg,
Mm.
that's the church where I grew up.
Okay.
And then obviously when I left Joburg, I went to a different church, Every Nation Church, Grahamstown.
Mhm.
Shout out to Every Nation.
Shout out.
then now I go to Revival City Church. I'm back in Joburg. Yeah,
The revival.
Revival City Church. Yeah.
Oh,
That sounded a bit loaded.
Yeah,
What happened? What happened?
I just have to make sure that I'm
What happened? What did you see? What did you see at that
I just
church?
have to make sure that I heard proper.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you a self-taught instrumentalist?
Yes, YouTube. Is anyone ever really self-taught? Can you teach yourself something?
Yes.
I guess that's a philosophical question, right? Because if you don't know something, how can you teach yourself
You
that
research
thing?
something, yeah,
But
yeah,
anyways, YouTube, guys.
Develop the skill, rather.
YouTube. When I was in first year at university in LEZ, one of my so we had something called senior students. It's like the prefect of the LEZ in a way, if I could use that term. And man, you also taught me like proper, because YouTube can't correct me. They can't say you're not holding the guitar
Yeah.
correctly. Place your
Yeah.
finger like this. This is how you do it in public. So his name was Craig. His name is Craig. Shout out to you, Craig. You know who you are.
Shout out.
So yeah, he's like, dude, this is how you hold the guitar. This is how you place your fingers. If you're
Yeah.
performing in public, you don't want to curve your three fingers that are not strumming.
Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
straighten them.
Yeah.
This is where you hold the neck to not tie your wrists,
This is why I
etc.
hit the guitar.
So he really helped me, and also different people on different worship teams at church, would correct me, help me with the chords, transitions, etc. So it's not just YouTube. YouTube laid the foundation, but people, you can't do without people and live interactions. Yeah.
So why do you play the guitar? Why do you play the piano? Why? Because
Why do I play the guitar
Yeah.
while I play the piano?
Yeah.
It's a needs thing. Many people play piano. I personally find piano easier to play. So there's a smaller or lower learning curve when it comes to piano than guitar. So they
Yes.
just needed a guitarist at my church. And even though I can play the piano, they already had like 3 pianists. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's bring in the guitar.
Can I just ask, the first time you learned how to play guitar, did you not experience hand cramps?
Oh my goodness.
I hate guitar
The worst
because
was
of hand
the
cramps.
finger cramps.
Yes,
Because
then they stuck like this.
if
Like,
you're
I
playing on a
can't
metal
relate.
string guitar, because there are 2 main types of strings. There's metal and nylon. Nylon is plastic, so it's softer. The metal strings feel like
They chow your
knives
fingertips.
cutting through your
They
fingers.
chow
It
your
literally feels like that.
fingertips.
And over time, you actually develop calluses. So my fingertips on my left hand are thicker than the fingertips on my right hand because I have calluses from the strings.
By the way, guys,
you
so
sound
like-
like guitar.
Hey, no, even if you don't,
So like-
even if you're just soft at it, it's just a
Yeah.
natural, it's your body literally protecting itself
Yeah.
from the pain because
Yeah.
it's very painful when you start.
which is why a lot of people actually use guitar picks when it comes
Yeah,
to
they-
No,
metal.
but a
strings.
pick is used on your strumming hand. Your pressing hand still gets
Oh
the
no,
same
no,
thing.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's
because,
why.
like,
That's why some people wear
those-
bandages and
yeah,
plasters
those-
when
yeah.
they're playing the guitar.
I've got blisters on my fingers.
No,
That's where
literally,
it comes
that's
from.
what you get. It's a
Literally.
real thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's worth it.
I
It's
guess.
it's like your degree.
I
You've
get-
learned your stripes.
Ew, it's,
Yeah.
Now I get why Zahara wrote mthwalo wakho uyamsinda vele ayimningi. But let's move on.
Okay.
DJing.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the dream first begin?
Oh my word, guys! DJing. When I started discovering really nice clubs in Joburg, and I saw the big difference between not having music and having music. A club would be the most boring thing if there was no music.
Yeah.
Just think about it. What do
Yeah.
people do at a club? They just sit there and drink and smoke hubbly, right? That's what they do. And
Yeah.
other things that
You need
we shouldn't be saying
You need to say
on
that.
a PG-friendly show.
Amongst-
But clubs are without music, guys. Music is that determining factor. It makes a club really cool. Like when you see
Yeah.
people standing up to a
yeah.
new release, and the bass, like you're feeling the bass. At home you can't play loud music. You have neighbors.
Exactly.
The bass ends here in your ears.
Exactly.
But at a club, you feel it in your chest, guys. You feel it in your thighs, in the soles of your feet, And that's how you know a club is really cool. So when I discovered how impactful a DJ is, also having my musical skills, I actually just started out of an interest. I was like, hey, I'm interested in doing this. Let me give it a go.
Yeah.
And it just stuck. I got
Yeah.
a guy who is a professional DJ. He mentored me. He taught me. I used to go to Granite Lounge. Shout out to Granite Lounge Management in Tembisa,
God.
Ivory Park, technically speaking. And man, I used to learn, like, you know, he would teach me practically, this is what you do. This is how you bring in a song softly. You know, keeping the same tempo. You know, you don't want to mix genres. You want to keep one genre per
Oh
set.
my God, yes.
You know, those practical tips that you're not going to really learn from reading or watching a video, you know? And him showing me, no, you're doing this wrong. You brought this song in too fast. And Amapiano, I found it to be a very easy genre to start with, because the intros and the outros are really long. Like, you know, an Amapiano song is long,
they really
guys.
are. And sometimes they're just like, they're in sync.
It is so long, and then it's easy to sing because the beats are very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar, not the same. Because there are people out there who say, Amapiano sounds the same to me.
No,
Like, no, guys, that's
Take it
offensive, hey?
It is
How can you say that?
It
How
is
can you say
offensive.
that?
They should do better.
Yeah, anyways.
We're not gonna
I
say
like that. And some people know, I'm not gonna mention names, but they know themselves. Yeah, and it's
If
beautiful
I know
genre.
them, I might drop the name.
Yeah, you probably would. You probably would. Yeah, so I'm not gonna mention their names. But that's where I learned. I'm getting whatever you want in life, just get a mentor. It'll fast track your progress immensely. Yeah. So I learned from learning from someone.
So what would you say? What kind of DJ are you? What kind of music do you rock on the deck?
Okay, so mostly would be electro house / techno. So you know when you're watching those but not the way you describing it. Seems a bit. You don't want to go, you know.
I'm joking.
Look, but I mean, if you look at what check out on. You should YouTube Idris Elba when he DJs, because he also DJs. I don't know if you guys knew that. Idris Elba.
Oh yeah. He's also a pretty cool
that
rapper.
type of music, that type of vibe. But generally, I'd say electro. Techno is a bit psychedelic. It's a bit you need to be on something to enjoy it.
Like
You know what I mean?
in the club, the strobe lights.
Exactly.
It's so crazy.
So electro house, classic house, and Amapiano.
Okay.
And what's your strongest point?
My strongest points.
Oh, what
I'd
do you
say it's
enjoy?
even between Amapiano and electro. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a self-assessment. So you guys need to judge that. Sneaking in promotion.
Oh no, but like we'll hear you now when you finish.
100%. There we go.
Yeah.
Then you can be the judges.
Guys, I don't want to lie. The way South Africa has just ruined the piano for me. I am going to open a club solely for jazz and hip hop music.
Jazz.
No, I can't. Everything is on a piano.
It's our culture, guys.
On the Tuesday,
It's a
piano.
culture. It's a culture.
We've been conditioned.
There's an entire
to our
BBC
culture.
documentary on Amapiano.
We've been conditioned. Listen, though, I can't. Like, there's no piano in Tlapela, yo. You the it's a thing.
No, you're not going to the right clubs, eh?
No.
There are clubs out there,
Advices.
guys. Any township, guys. Soshanguve, Soweto, Tembisa. If you want to hear proper Amapiano grooves, before they even released officially, check them out. Dancers, Pretoria, that's where the proper dancers come from. I have an acquaintance of mine who taught me like quite a few dances, and he used to groove in Mamelodi and Soshanguve. Like, I don't know how they get those dances, but that's where they come from. By the time
Sosha is the hot spot
in the suburbs, by the time we hear the songs, it's old news in the township, guys.
That's what I want. For my channel, like these DJs don't understand that it's old news.
Yeah, true.
You get me? Like we'll be in 2023.
So I think
and
you
they'll
probably just go to guys. You go to different townships, Soweto, Tembisa, and yeah, you'll enjoy it. Like you'll hear songs that you can't Shazam, guys.
Yeah.
You want to Shazam this thing and you're like, what? This is a mega hit. Like, top 10 hits. But it's not even on Shazam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Best gig.
I was please tell your friends that are also DJs to have the same mindset that you have, because wow, it's ghetto. What they're doing in this country.
Yeah.
No, friends.
What are you doing?
I don't know who maybe DJ, let's say, or DJ Yemo.
And one year.
DJ Khoto. I want to tell the same songs that he played, but kak.
Ninja game. Don't say that.
Hey, it happens, guys. No, another thing, when you go to a club and you plan a set, the club manager, you'll speak to the club manager long before, maybe 2 or 3 days before. And then each DJ has a different genre that they're playing, so that you don't end up mixing songs and replaying songs.
I feel like they don't do that. Do you get me? And the problem is, like, when Narile at Myers a few days ago, 3 different DJs, the same set. I was so annoyed.
Hectic.
I was so
So
annoyed.
they
I was
just
like,
got the
listen, I'm
same
going
USB
home.
and played from the same.
Exactly. And my child is like, if y'all see that you're on the same lineup, at least ask me what's in your set so that I can bring something
Yeah.
new to the people.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be playing repetitive songs. When I killing you Bastrata. Bastrata in Tapete. Bastrata. Yes.
Ah.
So we can show Bastrata. Every time we get Bastrata, I can clap a mood. Yes.
No, but there are some songs that are staples, hey? There are staples. Like, and the thing about Amapiano is that it evolves super fast, you know?
Yeah.
You're gonna hear Bastrata at every groove. You're gonna hear things like Asibe Happy at every groove. You're gonna hear
Don't get me started on that one.
you know, Hamba Wena at every groove. Like, there are staples that you can't escape, guys. That's just how it
Shot
is.
is a vodka legend. I'm not looking high in your face.
Hamba. Hamba, ha. Hey, there we go.
Hey man, first gig. How does this come about?
My first gig.
Yeah.
My first
DJing
DJing
gig,
gig.
yeah.
Okay. First DJing gig was it was actually unplanned. I just hopped onto the deck.
No way.
This was at a club called Ezio on Vilakazi Street in Soweto.
Okay.
And man, like there was literally no one there. They had a USB in the CDJ. And I was like, well, there's no DJ. Let me do it.
Yeah.
So I just got onto it. And on that day, that's when I became DJ LEZ. Yeah.
You lying.
For reals.
Out.
For reals.
So no
Shout
planning, no compiling your
Not
own
at all.
playlist.
Look,
no.
when I look back at it, that set sucked. It was terrible. But people enjoyed it. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, as your musical acumen grows, you realize, man, that was bad back in the day. But if someone just wants to hear music and have a good vibe, they enjoyed it, you know? Yeah.
Big establishments that you've, gigged at thus far?
Big establishments, Escobar Lounge in Bryanston. They're currently rebranding, so I think next year they're coming in with a big launch.
Oh no, please, they should.
Shout out to Escobar, guys.
They should.
What else, man?
I don't like Escobar.
Escobar Lounge. I've hosted. Ooh, I should not say this one.
Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
I
There's
should
a
not say it.
disclaimer.
We have a
from
disclaimer.
I'm not going to say it.
No,
Let me just
come
say
on,
one
no.
dangerous word. Are you guys ready?
No, DJ,
Are you guys ready?
No.
I'm ready.
You can't do this to us.
I'm
no,
ready.
wait, no. You,
No, I'm
you need
ready.
to tell us, bro. No, come
I'm
on.
going to say one word, and that will answer the
Okay,
question.
okay,
That'll
okay.
make you realize why I can't say much about
Okay,
it.
okay.
Are you
okay.
ready?
Yes.
Woodmead.
Wood meat.
Woodmead. That's it.
Listen, let me say something.
That's it. That's it. I'm not saying anything further than that. I'm not saying it. Like, it's not even, I won't even post that event on my Instagram. Guys, like, you know what happens there. Like, look, my hairs are even standing up, guys.
It's the ghetto.
Let us know. Let us know.
No.
It's the
I'm
ghetto.
No, but
whatever.
hey, let us know.
Guys, let me tell you something.
I
There's
just
this
said
show
one word.
called Bar Rescue. If Bar Rescue came to South Africa, which means is the first stop.
Hang on a second. I just want to find out
First.
because the answer to this question is going to determine whether I'm going to ask to cut out the segment. Okay. There is more than one club in Woodmead, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Then me saying Woodmead is fine. Because if that meant one specific club, I'd ask you guys to cut this out.
But there's a club that actually
No.
that determines which meat.
We'll cut this part out. Just talk to us. We'll cut it out.
Mm.
We'll
We'll cut
remove
it
it.
out. We'll cut it out with
This is Johannesburg.
and
It's a
so,
Korea.
I'm being quiet.
no, but actually you're right, hey?
I'm being quiet.
I feel like
I'm too young, guys.
I feel
My
like.
guys, me all I'm saying is go on Google.
What are you gonna Google?
Find it on Google.
La.
You won't find it on Google. I actually need to remove it on.
It
Yeah.
probably has like
Yeah.
2 reviews,
He owns
2-star rating.
Nah.
He owns it. You're the owner. If you're gonna remove it from Google, you're the owner.
No. He's definitely good
I've
at the
seen it.
owner.
I've
If
seen
you're the
it,
owner,
but-
your hair wouldn't get up thinking about it in jail.
Yo, my blood is even.
It runs cold way now.
Yo.
Guys, I
I'm gonna faint.
I don't
guys.
mind sitting on this topic
I need
for
something
30
sweet.
minutes until I get out the truth out of DJ LEZ. I
No,
wanna
what I'm
know.
saying is
DJ LEZ, listen.
DJ
the reason
Lez
why.
has to perform.
No, performance is like Marabata need we want the
No,
truth.
look. I did nothing wrong, so I don't have to reveal any truth or
So if
anything.
you did nothing
All I'm
wrong, why
saying
are you
is-
protecting them?
Yeah.
You asked me. No. The original question was big places or establishments that have performed that. So I was just listing it. Then in the lists, there was an asterisk in the list here.
Is it
And I was like, I'm not gonna say.
Okay, I guess we lost.
Remember Nango
I need to watch out.
You know.
Okay.
No, but yeah, Escobar.
I hate
I
Escobar.
explained the W word, and I mentioned Izio as well. Vilakazi Streets.
W word.
The W word. I just said it now. And hey,
Would need.
what else?
Would
I'm
W
trying to
word
think.
would need.
We want the club. We want the place.
Not now.
Not now. As long
Don't
as
forget it. Google. They probably have a 2-star rating.
That's the answer to your question. Let's keep it at that.
They have a 2-star
Let's move on to the
rating.
next question.
you know why I'm dying to know.
Yeah?
It's because we have viewers who are entertainers, who are creatives, who go to these places almost on a daily basis.
Guys,
They might encounter the same, challenge that you've encountered. So we shine a spotlight, DJ LEZ. Look at them like
No, I just gave a list.
That's enough.
That's enough. You can go to the next question, but this particular one.
It's really not going to steer
No,
away
for
from the
reals.
thing.
I
For
can
reals.
tell. I can tell. Okay,
reals.
cool.
You know what? It's okay.
FR.
He be like that sometimes.
Okay, cool. I want to know which DJs do you think are killing it right now in the
Come
game?
again, which days do I think?
Are killing it in the Amapiano space right
Like
now.
that are dominating this.
Wow. Guys, Amapiano is, like I said, it's a culture.
Mm.
If you were to ask me pop, I would say Taylor Swift. I would say, I would
But
mention
those
pop
are like
artists.
We're talking about DJs.
Yes, no, but I'm trying to answer the question.
Oh,
So
okay, sorry.
when it comes to Amapiano, remember there are different subgenres in Amapiano. For example, there's
That's right.
Amapiano, then there's private school Amapiano.
Yes.
So
So can
if you go
Momoso.
to a balcony mix, for example, Major League is going to play a bit of private school mixed with a bit of the classics, right?
Mhm.
So Major League specializes in that. And then we know when it comes to hits, Kabza, Rismadlisa, Feloliti, Toss,
Yeah.
when it comes to the big
Yeah.
hits, Manka,
Mac G.
Yeah.
well, okay. Okay. I'm just saying, okay.
I was talking about the McG, the one that
Hey,
does that
Mac G
bunny.
is killing
That
But he does
bunny
DJ,
thing
right?
over.
Yeah,
That's
he
fine.
does DJ. I don't know if he produces.
I'm not sure. No.
Shout out to Mac G, bro. This guy's trying to get me into trouble. Shout out. I've never met you, so I'm just saying shout out to you.
Me, I'm saying
Yeah.
which McG are you talking about?
Look, it's tough. I mean, also where you upload your music determines a lot of things. For example, on Mixcloud, one of my mixes has been top 100 on Mixcloud. That's one platform, literally.
When was
I'll
this?
send you my link, guys. It's on my Instagram bio. Check it out.
Listen,
Check it
you wanna
out.
put it in the
Check it out.
description,
You'll see,
okay?
you'll see.
it out. Check
So,
We'll
it
check it
depends on the platform. I really can't say objectively who is number one or not, but yeah, Risma Lisa, their music is really proper. Toss, come on, guys. You can't exclude Toss from any
He's such a cool guy.
list
Oh my
of-
god,
That guy is a legend.
he's such a legend.
That
bro.
guy is a legend.
Probably one of the most common South African celebrities I've
For
ever met.
reals. No, he really is.
He's so
I mean,
humble.
Kabza
He's
the
so
Small
calm.
is, if Amapiano was a country, Kabza the Small would be in the parliament. Like, he'd be a minister somewhere. You know what I mean?
Fully
He's up
President
there.
David.
He's up there. You know?
You won't resign for sure.
Exactly. So, I would say there are quite a handful of people. I can't say this particular
Yeah.
duo or this particular person
the
is
best.
the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any people we should be on the lookout for upcoming and
Okay.
rising artists?
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah. Cool. So, I heard about this guy named DJ LEZ. Check him out. Whenever he performs, follow him on the socials.
You killed it.
For real. You gotta slide it in. Self-promotion, guys. So Instagram _Lesedi Mukoni. That is my IG handle. That's where I post most of my work, my DJing, adverts and all of that. Mixcloud as well. I am LEZ _ZA. That's where you can check out my mixes on Mixcloud.
Mhm.
In terms
Top
of
100
upcoming
as well.
artists, man, I know funny thing about DJs, which is a problem.
Yeah.
I know people's names, but their stage name,
Dololo.
And it's okay.
so
But
I can't give you a
that
comprehensive list.
means you know them deeply, personally.
Yes,
so-
no, of course. I mean, look, a really good DJ, guys. DJ Ramedy, he's a really good guy. I don't know what his link is on the socials, what his handles are.
I think I've
But
heard
look
of
for
that.
Ramedy, Ramedy. He's really good. Yeah, he's really good. Then there is I know 2 hype men. You guys know what a hype man is, right?
Yes, sir. I'm a hype man myself.
There we go.
For someone who doesn't
Guys,
I'm a
okay,
hype
so
man
a hype man is, so whenever you go to a groove or a gig or whatever,
yeah.
and then there's a guy standing next to the DJ saying things like, Ishu, Assam, you know what I mean? One is Lala Makaya, Asifunu Lala Makaya. That's a hype man. Guys, hype men and women are a big deal. If you're a DJ, get yourself a hype man, because guys, they just bring that energy into the club, you know, like they'll be like, man, I remember this, look, at a club, I'll share a funny story with you guys. At a club, it's not just people there to dance. I guess everyone's there to have a good time, but you also want to welcome people. You want to welcome first time visitors. You want to welcome people who are celebrating birthdays, you know? And, you know, you get hype and you say, you're having a birthday today, welcome, you know? And then I remember this particular video that someone sent. It was so funny. There was this hype lady, hype woman. Do you still call them hype men if they're a lady?
I'm a hype man.
Okay, there we go. So there was this lady who was hyping, right? This was so funny. A friend of mine put it on his Instagram status. So this lady was hyping and she's like, we'd like to welcome the Forex scammers. And I was like, but the way she was doing it, she was not being malicious. I think she just thinks that's what they do. They just scam people.
Because they blow money at the club.
Hello, fraudsters, welcome.
And that was so funny, man. I was like, scammers she even said the word. Wow. It was really hilarious. So, yeah, hype men, follow them. You know, I recommend if club managers are watching this, get hype men. You're going to get a lot of revenue. You're going to get a lot of visitors in. It's really good energy.
Yes.
And, yeah, a lot of DJs are also hosts. Some people, you know, work double shifts, because you can have a set and literally go and sit in the VIP section afterwards and host. You know what I mean? So it's a good way to manage the energy, and a good way to make use of your time, getting paid twice. Imagine. Yeah. So, but names, I struggle with names because I know people personally. Yeah.
So why don't you want to give us their personal names?
Pardon?
Why don't you want to give us their personal names?
Simply because it's a long list. I mean, Zanele Potelwa, she's a close friend of mine, and she's a great DJ. Mohale Mutawung is more of a host, but if you want a good host, you can get Mohale in. He's a really good host. He comes in with a good entourage. So club managers, if you want a good entourage, you know, really good influences coming through, Mohale is a great guy. Man.
On that note, how is it?
Yeah, Casper also hosts, but he's really busy. His schedule is intense.
You can't say Casper's
but he's really good. And obviously, I mean, everyone's going to come to the group if Casper's there.
Yeah.
And the list is long, guys.
How was it working with Mohale Mutau? How was it?
It was really cool. In fact, it's a very tough one to answer because that's where the W word comes in.
Into that camera is this one.
Hey guys, okay, so putting it out there. Had an event in Woodmead, and he was the host, and that's it. That's what I'm gonna say.
How did you get,
guys? I'm very scared of that place, man.
How did you get to host with him? How did you get the gig? That's my question.
Okay, so you know, one thing about me is people don't say no to me. Literally, I said, "Hey, listen up." Okay, so I had a list of people I wanted to work with. I had a really long list. People from Cape Town, even. I was willing to get someone from Cape Town.
Yeah.
But then I ended up, how did this happen? I remember we had one venue. Oh my gosh, I hope I don't get into trouble, man.
Talk to us.
Okay, had one venue. They declined us. This venue was in Carte Blanche. That's why I'm not going to talk about it.
It was what?
It was on Carte Blanche.
What is this?
That's how hectic it is. Carte Blanche won't now incriminate.
Oh my God. No, I want to know. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means.
Okay.
Google
You guys are gonna cut that. Okay, let's do this. Let's rewind a bit. Yeah. Cool. There was a certain venue in Four Ways that declined us for hosting an event.
4 Ways.
So then I decided to find a venue in Woodmead rather. And I had a long list of people to work with. A lot of people were occupied. obviously clubs have budgets. Some people, their budgets, their asking price was way too high, so it was way out of our budget. And I was like, okay, who do I know who's a really nice person, who is a strong media celebrity, has a good influence? And I was like, actually, it wasn't my idea. The lady that I work with who helps me with organizing everything. Shout out to my Shodi, you know who you are. Yeah, she was like, hey, why don't you get Mohale? He's a really nice guy. People know him. He has a good social influence. And I was like, okay, let's try it out. And he came through.
When was this?
This was in March this year.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not far.
Nice.
Man.
I doubt you'll find it. What? And if you do, please don't say it.
Which?
No.
No.
No. You might not say it.
Okay.
She also
All
is.
right. Then I am not gonna promote this podcast.
Yeah. No.
For reals. Okay. I'm kidding.
Wait,
No, I'm
okay,
being, that
okay.
was too deep. I'm kidding. I don't mean that. Sometimes I say things that are a bit.
Even if you
rough.
don't mean it.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
I want to know,
Yeah.
DJ LEZ.
Hey,
This
bro.
club that you're hiding, what do they have against you? Like,
They
what
don't have
is
anything
it?
against me. It's just that things happen there. Like things happen there.
Does
guys.
the name of the club start with a G?
No,
Does it start
doesn't.
with a P?
No.
It starts with a W. Right?
Pardon?
It starts with a W.
Which year was it?
No, the area starts with a W.
No,
Like, I don't even want to say the area. That is how. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, I guess we just.
Then is it the holiday club?
No, it's not. I don't even. Isn't that a hotel?
There's no. I'm on
It's
a
not even a
mission.
club. Oh, Holiday Inn is a hotel.
Nah, it's fine. Chobi. Let's give up. Let's give up. I got to defend you.
You'll
The
find
club
it
on Cut
eventually.
Blanche, Chum. You
You'll
went to
find
Cut
it. You'll
Blanche
find it. You'll find it eventually. You'll find it eventually.
Which year was it?
I don't.
I'm not saying.
It's fine. Let's proceed. What is the biggest challenge that you've came upon as a DJ,
Mhm.
and how would you best advise someone who has the same interest of becoming a
Biggest
DJ?
challenge I've encountered as a DJ.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest challenge?
Because sometimes you get booked and then they don't pay you, or they don't pay
I
you
think
in
actually the
time.
biggest challenge was when I was trying to work with other DJs for an event. I had a list of DJs, I had a lineup, but then the place that cancelled us, because they cancelled us, we didn't have a budget for the other DJs. So I had to drop them. I had to say, dropping sounds rough, but I had to say, hey guys, listen up. We
This is
can't
what
work
happened.
here anymore. It's what
Yeah.
happened. And unfortunately, we can't do this gig together.
Mm.
Then this one guy took it so personally. He said, I betrayed him. He said, I stabbed him in the back. And he called me a bastard just because of that. I even have the WhatsApp messages.
No
And he
way.
blocked me on
We're gonna
WhatsApp.
put the screenshot
And he blocked me on WhatsApp
up.
No way.
because
bro.
of all of that. I was like, dude, I'm just being honest. That's what
Mm.
happened.
Mm.
Yeah.
Does the name of the club start with an M?
No,
Repetile, bo. Wait.
Not a hit.
Repetile.
it doesn't. Not an M.
So wait, you get all of this lashback. What's running through your mind? What are you thinking?
I was just like, there's something wrong with this guy. That's
You
all.
know, you're not
I didn't
blaming
take
yourself.
it personally. No.
Okay.
But yeah, it was the biggest challenge because I obviously was trying to give people an opportunity, and I saw a long-term relationship with this DJ.
Mm.
I was like, we can really work together and do great things in the future. But I don't know why he saw it the way he did. We used to hang out together. We used to groove together. So I was like, maybe it's a personal matter.
So you guys
I don't know.
are not in communication. at
Called
the moment?
him, texted him,
Nothing.
doesn't pick up, doesn't answer me. Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
The last time you
Oh,
called him, what was your purpose? Why did you call him?
No, the last time I called him,
Yeah.
that was when we were still on good terms. His
Okay.
response of all the things he said were in one message, and it's all on WhatsApp.
Yo.
For reals.
One fucking
Yeah.
damn.
A backstabbing bastard.
Damn.
So we called
No,
me.
you're not a backstabber.
I'm not. I know I'm
You're
not. That's why I'm so comfortable.
Right.
Like
That's what
I'm not
happens when
phased.
You don't
I'm
have
not phased.
emotional
But
and
it's
mental
fascinating
maturity.
coming across different personalities.
Mm,
Yeah.
You need to be able
Yeah.
to juggle and deal with
Yeah.
everyone else.
Would you say the person is a narcissist? I would say yes.
Look, can I tell you something? That's a very good question. I'm not a qualified psychologist.
Even if
No, I can't call anyone.
Symptoms.
I can't diagnose people with
Okay,
psychological
okay,
issues.
would you
You know what I
say-
mean?
he's an egotistical jerk.
I don't know. I don't know. I've been called a narcissist before.
Is there beep here?
I was.
Why
I've
are we
been.
beeping?
I've been called.
Why are
I've
we
been called.
beeping?
I've been called a narcissist
Why are
before.
we beeping? If you
And then
can
you know what I
control
said to the person who
monsters
called me a
and vex us.
narcissist? You know what I said? I said, dude, but you're not a psychologist. You're not licensed to diagnose me with that. That's what I said to him.
Oh, no, the response.
I can't remember his response. I think he actually was Adam. Was like, no, you are.
No, you told him.
are.
You told him where to get
Yeah,
off.
and
You
I was
told
like,
him.
but on
That's
what
what it is.
basis? I mean, he hasn't tested me or anything. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. People just throw out words, trauma, narcissist. Come on, guys. Come on.
Okay, Maranam, I'm trying to give symptoms, and Jose is trying to
No,
cancel me.
No, I'm not canceling. I'm not canceling you. I was, trying to give DJ Les a listening ear. Yeah.
Trying to help me. Yeah.
Okay, please.
Talk. Listen.
I'm done.
Ah.
I'm done. Guys, one thing about these people, ne?
Which people?
The air quote narcissists, ne?
Oh, yeah.
They're very egotistical. They have main character syndrome. And if things don't go their way, they always find the next close person to blame. And they feel like, okay, they're entitled to that blaming game. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's very sick in the head for you to be in that kind of mental state, because it's like, you're not trying to grow as a person.
But then another thing also we need to realize is that I don't think anyone chooses to be a narcissist. They actually are struck like it's a mental thing. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't think we should hate them.
I'm not hating. My
I
child is
think
like-
they need help, honestly.
Exactly. My
Yeah.
child is like, at least acknowledge the fact that you need help.
They don't know. That's the thing.
Nah, they do. Trust me.
Wow,
They must know.
I
must
have,
know.
I have a, we used to have a once upon a time friend.
Yeah.
Hot and I.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
A major narcissist.
Tick.
We called her out on it. We're like, did you need help? Let us take you to a psychiatrist. Let's take you to a psychiatric hospital. We don't mind helping with funds, whatever.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you guys just hate me. You don't love me. Play the victim role. And it's like,
You are
bro,
judging me.
you are judging me. Then another world hates me. It's
That
like,
is like literally there's a textbook for characteristics of a narcissist. That's sentence 1, chapter 1.
exactly.
Victim.
Exactly.
Victim mentality.
So you can't tell me that a person that's a
Oh,
narcissist does not
What-
know that they are
okay, no,
suffering
It's
from
okay.
it.
It's okay.
No.
It's
Can
okay.
we get water for
I hate
DJ?
inconveniencing people. Thank you so much.
Can you get
Thank
water?
It's
you
not
so
that they
much.
don't know,
Thank
it's
you,
just
thank
that they're refusing to acknowledge it because they're like, this is who I am, accept me as I am.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with it, then go jump off a bridge. And if you're like, yeah, you should tell me to go jump off a bridge, go eat a double dick sandwich. That's not gonna work. We're not bringing that energy here. No.
DJ Les.
Yes, sir.
I want to be a DJ.
Okay.
No equipment.
Okay.
No skills.
Yeah.
No background whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
How do I start this?
Okay. Shadow with DJ. That's the number one thing.
Say
Shadow with DJ. Work with a DJ who is willing to teach you how to DJ, and that is the foundation. That's the best way to get started, especially without equipment. I mean, you don't always need equipment. You sometimes, most of the time, actually, you just need a USB. You go to a
Yeah.
club that has a CDJ, you plug it in, and if you can use a CDJ wherever you are in the world, whatever club you go to, it's generally the same.
Mhm.
Same principle. You learn to do what you got to do. And there you go.
Sometimes
Thank you so much. Thank you.
sometimes me approaching someone else is, I don't know, might be wrong, but they might take my work. I don't want someone else to do my work. I
Yeah.
want to own my own masters. That's what they say, right? So I don't want to approach anyone. I don't want to be working for someone or with someone.
Yeah.
I want to build something independently.
Yeah.
And having said that, how would you then
Okay.
advise?
Look, ultimately, you are going to have to work with people, even if you are independent.
Yeah.
Thank you. Your entourage, for
Absolutely.
example,
Absolutely.
your team.
Absolutely.
You can't film yourself and do bookings, make bookings, and set up your equipment. You can't do all of that as an individual. You need a team. So even if you do want to be independent at some stage, I mean, it's like, think about anyone who runs their own business. If a lawyer has their own practice, or it's called a practice, right?
Yeah. Right, yeah.
If they have their own practice,
Yeah.
they had to go to law school. They had to work with professors. They had to be taught by people.
Yeah.
You know, they had to do those tutorials. Almost said tuts because that's what we call them at Rhodes. They had to do those tutorials.
Yeah.
You know, you have to work with people in some capacity. No man's an island. Yeah.
I'm a huge believer of, you know, if you don't know something, seek information.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid
That's
to,
true.
you know, seek
Teamwork
out.
work makes the dream work.
Yeah, you know, my brother.
There we go.
You know?
That's the only way.
So I like what you're saying about that. You know, if you're gonna start something, it's bound that you're gonna be working with someone else, because
True.
it's all about sharing skills. It's all about sharing knowledge.
Yeah.
And you know, working towards creating that one product. And
Hundreds.
Damn. Hey, DJ LEZ, bro. I've enjoyed having you on the show.
I've enjoyed it more,
Fully,
guys.
yeah.
Come
Bro,
on.
I feel like I've known you for years, bro.
Thank you.
First, you know, the first time we sat here, we spoke. It was just
Natural.
Yeah, it was natural. And so I said, I was comfortable. We too comfortable.
Likewise.
You know,
You're
it
good
was-
people,
it
bro.
was nice.
You're good people.
What can we say?
Yeah, it's in the blood.
What can we say? It is what it is.
Okay, so we're gonna play a game, and it's basically a riddle.
It's game.
Okay.
It's a riddle. It's
Cool.
a riddle. So I'm gonna give you a riddle. I'm gonna, you know, read the sentence, and you're gonna say true or false. So
Okay.
it's a true or false riddle.
Okay.
And then later on, after I ask you everything, I'll let you know which
Yeah.
one is right, which one is wrong,
Okay.
which one is true, which one is false.
Okay.
Are
Cool.
we good? Ready?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll take care of it. Alrighty. The first one we have is. So wait, we need to add rules because you must answer very fast. You must answer very fast. You don't have.
Okay. Do I have a time limit?
Yes. You have a
Okay.
time limit. So I don't know. Should we time him?
Time limits.
I feel like,
Time,
oh my god, excuse
because we
me.
don't want to give him time to think. He must know.
I feel like
It's general
3 seconds
questions.
tops.
General.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 seconds.
3 seconds tops.
Goodness. That's like how long it takes the thing to get into my mind.
No, I mean like it should be something that just jumps off the top of your
Okay.
head.
Cool. Students.
Are you ready?
Get me.
Students.
Wait, I have my timer. Wait, I'm just trying to.
Okay. Just waiting for the timer. Timer is good?
Not yet. I'm just singing to past him.
So I'm gonna give you a riddle.
Okay.
You're gonna tell me
Okay.
if it's true or false.
Okay.
And then afterwards, I'll just give you the reviews.
Okay,
You'll
5
just give
seconds
me?
at the
The
most.
answers. the
Okay.
correct
Cool.
answer.
5 seconds at the most.
5 seconds.
Okay.
5
Yes.
seconds.
Got this.
And let's go.
The atomic number of lithium is 17.
False.
A cross between a horse and a zebra is called hobra.
False.
The black box in a plane is actually black.
False.
Alumophobia is the fear of garlic.
False.
Prince Harry is taller than Prince William.
False.
There are two parts of the body that can't heal themselves.
That complement themselves.
That can't heal themselves.
True.
A lion's roar can be heard up to 8 kilometers away.
True.
Bush's latest album is titled Mazikali.
False.
The ANC will be the ruling party in 2024.
True. I just had to say true. I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about any of that. Apart from the body parts that can't heal themselves. Because it sounds like
Yeah.
That could
okay,
be a
okay,
fact.
okay. Chemi, run up the answers. What's gonna happen if you got the answer wrong?
Takes a shot.
no, but the 2024 one, how can you know? It's a
No,
future
that
thing.
one is fake.
The other
We'll
ones.
give you a pass for third.
Okay.
The
We'll
other
give you a
ones.
pass
yeah.
for third. The other ones though.
Okay.
What
do
must
That's
that.
like a young.
What
but
must you
actually,
do?
he's drinking.
Water.
He's drinking the chava chon.
Sorry, Zang. Rofa shot on point, my brother.
Okay. Am I on point?
We give you a
Oh.
shot of on point vodka
The on
Okay.
point
if
vodka
your
shot.
answer is incorrect.
Oh, lolo.
But like Machel is like, are you sure? Chemi, he's about to
Guys,
go
I
do
have a set
set.
after this. You're not going to
Really,
enjoy my
eh?
music if you give me
He's
vodka.
gonna go do a set.
So
I have a set.
punishment.
What's the punishment?
Let's decide, guys. Let's decide. Shots,
It can be shots, guys.
Guys,
Listen,
it's going to
you
be
can't
punishment
messing
for
with
all of
someone's
you.
craft like that.
It's going to be punishment for all of you.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can't
What
be
do you
messing
mean?
with your craft like that.
There we go. Thank you. That's a lady of grace. Ladies should learn from this. That's a woman.
We are playing. You're
Woman of
playing a game.
stature.
Okay,
We're playing a game.
let's do it like this,
You want
friends.
the truth, yeah.
Let's do
Yeah,
it
but I
like
do
this.
have work after this, so
True.
that
Let's do it
wouldn't
like
be a
this,
good
ne?
idea.
We will take down the answers you got wrong. Ne? After his set, he has no other option but to drink shots. Why, Vum?
Absolutely, sir.
Fair
Yes.
enough.
And he'll be
Fair
there.
enough.
Vele.
Fair enough. Okay.
Okay, fair. Run it up. True.
Sounds like a deal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure.
Sounds like a
As
deal.
soon as they're like, okay, thank you, DJ, listen, I'm running downstairs with that boat really day. And you're gonna
That
drink
means I'm going
these
to play
shots.
until like 1.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna
the
drink these
morning.
shots.
So Grubala.
When
So
you guys
It
are
doesn't
gone.
matter, we'll sleep here also.
You guys will be gone. You guys will be so intoxicated you'll
It
forget
doesn't
to
matter,
do
we'll
these
leave
shots.
some for you. It's
Don't
fine.
worry. I find my way around things. Don't worry.
Ah, you'll see. We shall see.
Okay,
Run it up.
yeah, let's reveal the answers. So the first riddle was.
Wait, were you recording if they were true or false?
Come again?
Were you recording his answers?
No, he'll remember. I remember. He said a lot of falses. So
Yeah,
he's
there,
gonna
there,
have
he
8
did.
shots.
You did.
Gonna have
Let's
choice
see how
answers.
good you guys are. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So the first one was the atomic number of lithium is 17.
Mm-hmm.
The actual answer is false. It's
He did say
3.
false.
It's
3,
3.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Studied chemistry, guys. Come on.
He did
yeah,
say
come
false.
on.
So
Yeah.
that's fine. You got that right.
Sounded too big, man, for lithium. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, the second one was a cross between a horse and a zebra.
He
Was
said it's
called,
a false, I remember.
it's called zebra. It's called hobra.
Hobra.
Yeah.
Hobra. Yeah, it's false.
Yeah, come on.
A male zebra and a female horse are called zos. Rather.
Okay,
Zos.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like a deer and a zebra, because a zebra.
Yeah, and
Kevin Hart
then
will know.
a female horse, a female zebra, and a male horse rather are called zonkey.
Why is it a key at the end? It's not a donkey, it's a horse. But you know, that's fine. Let's continue.
Third one, the black box in a plane is actually black. He
He
said,
said
false.
false.
Mm-hmm.
I can he's traveled to two places. It's Hawaii. It's Hawaii. I don't false and into we
Wow, guys.
And
Yeah, yes. Of course. As a passenger, you see the black spots. Yeah, sure.
right.
Sure thing. And it's yellow, if I'm not mistaken.
It's orange.
Orange.
Take a shot for
Orange,
that.
okay.
Orange.
Hey,
you like
it wasn't part of the official.
Because you like things.
It wasn't part of the
We're going to take a
official.
shot.
But I was right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's 3 right.
That's 3 right.
Okay,
That's 3
yeah.
right. Alumphobia, alimophobia, might be wrong.
Phobia. Yeah.
Is the fear of garlic.
He said false.
It's true, my brother.
Hectic. What did you say? What's it called?
Phobia.
Alimphobia, yes.
Alimphobia.
Alimphobia.
But you mentioned something like aluminium.
No.
No, you mentioned something like aluminium.
pronounce it. Don't do that to my friend.
No. I heard aluminium.
Don't do that to my friend.
I heard
Don't do that to
aluminium,
my
something like that.
friend.
What did you say? Alimphobia.
Alimphobia.
I did not
Phobia,
hear
it's
that word.
phobia.
No, Your Honor, I did not hear that word.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying your questioning was
That one is a
there was no
pronunciation.
come on guys. It's
It's
on
a
record. We can literally
pronunciation.
rewind.
Okay, let's vote. Yeah.
Literally.
Let's vote.
Okay.
It's
It's gonna be such a biased vote because I'm the guest.
No, you
Oh,
false. It's false. You got it wrong.
But if the question okay, it's fine. I'll take the L. I'll take the L.
Thank you, my brother.
I feel like Khotso
Two
should just
shots.
take a shot of LNG.
It's 2 shots
Oh,
already.
No,
it's
yes,
one
well
shot.
away. Not sure.
Okay,
Chimari
it's one
didn't
shot.
pronounce
One shot won't do
proper.
anything to me.
Okay, it's fine. I was the wrong one.
It did
I'll
sound
let
like
it
if
just
you have
cover load
aluminium
before.
also.
No,
I'm
I
not
was
gonna
wrong.
lie.
I was
Okay,
wrong. I'll
okay.
let it slide.
Okay,
I was wrong.
Fair
I'll let it
enough.
slide. Yeah.
good sports.
We're practicing good sports. Prince Harry is taller than Prince William. You
He
said,
said false.
I said false. Yeah,
that's
William's tall, guys.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That's correct.
William
William
is
is
tall.
Why some more to miss about?
William is actually 1.91 meters tall.
okay.
But
Yeah,
that's not important. Is it important?
I haven't seen him or met him, but on the TV footage I've
You
seen,
can tell.
he looks taller.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that you have that one right. So there's one
One shot.
no? So far, and then there are 2 parts of the body that can heal themselves.
That can't.
That can't
Mhm.
heal themselves.
He said true.
And that's it. True.
The answer is false. There's only one, and those are
2
Interesting.
shots.
Okay. What
Yeah,
about
2
the
shots.
brain? If you injure the brain, because that's the first thing I thought
So
about.
you wanna
It's an
disagree
organ,
with
but
the...
it's not
I
a
want
body
to
part.
challenge it, Your Honor.
You wanna challenge
I want to
it?
challenge it.
It's not a body part.
I don't know. I
Which-
could
which
be
part of
wrong,
the
but
body
I
part can
mean,
heal itself?
I've never heard of the brain
They
healing.
grow.
I don't know.
Do they count as a body part?
Yeah, guys, this is...
Okay,
Yeah, no, they
so-
do. Teeth do count as a
so-
body part. It's
so-
teeth and so it's just one.
So yeah, there's one and it's
Okay.
two teeth.
Okay. Did you guys research that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you did, it's fine.
Marali
I'll
said,
take
what
the
are you
L.
doing?
It's okay.
What are you
So
doing,
he's
John?
2 shots in. What are
I'll
you-
take that.
2
Yeah,
shots in.
two.
Yeah.
And then we had a lion's roar can
He
be
said
heard
chew.
up to
Sounded
8
true.
kilometers, which is correct.
Oh,
That's
say.
true. Yeah. And then Booth's latest album is Mazikale.
I have
said
no
false.
idea.
You said false. And you said, as if you
False.
knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Balls. Like
Oh, did I do the
Yeah, you're
confidence?
right.
Okay,
You're
so I
like
was
false.
right.
Yeah, you're right.
At least there was confidence in it.
Yeah. So the album is actually called Islomo.
Okay.
Ingslima.
Islomo.
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 Oh, okay.
Islomo. Yeah.
Don't laugh.
That's
yeah.
funny.
That's
That's funny. That's funny.
Islomo.
Guys,
Islomo.
Uh-uh.
Islomo. And then the last one is debatable. That one we need
What
to
was the last one again?
is the
So
ANC going to be the ruling
So
party?
you
No one
telling me like
knows.
just 2 shots and Jay can't even give you like a young baram yes nyana.
If I,
You know?
that hype you need.
What
to
now?
take-
Nah,
yeah.
guys, trust me.
You take your job
Okay, it's
seriously.
Trust
fine.
me.
It's
You
fine.
take
Jimmy,
your
we'll
cross
wait.
For reals.
We'll wait. Me
For
and
reals.
I have
People have to
patience.
enjoy it. It's an experience. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's an experience.
So everyone's experience needs to be.
Yeah, like I've got a mix
memorable.
on point. Like you've got to hear those beats.
Like
113 BPM on point. Why? Can't mess it up.
Per honey.
Nice,
Do it.
nice. So we're saying the last one is debatable. We're not gonna,
No, really.
because I wrote here to be confirmed. That's what I
Yeah,
wrote.
no one can know that.
Mary, you said true, Pella. We live in a country. Yeah.
Was that true? Why did you say true?
Because it's been winning.
Exactly. You see,
Based on past
when I say that
debates,
this
you
country is
know.
in conditions,
Come on.
Okay.
that's what I mean.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair
I
It's a
mean,
given at this point.
Fair enough. Before we wrap and close, just have a few general questions. I would like to know, we were talking about politics, the president having to
Yeah.
resign, your views on that.
mhm.
In general, politics as a whole in
Mm.
South Africa. What's your take on that?
What's my take on it?
Yeah.
I think there are what we see in the news and what's actually happening is not the same. Like if you go to
It's not the same as, also not the same from what do you mean? It's not the same.
if you go to informal settlements, for example, and you hear about what the people need and who they are hoping to change their situations versus if you listen to an economist and they tell you what the economy needs,
Yeah.
In the next 2 years,
Doesn't
the next
line
5
up.
years, Yeah.
it doesn't line up.
Yeah.
So I mean, I remember, and this is like a totally different topic. I'm willing to come back and have this conversation.
Okay.
But I remember someone saying, like after every election, you always get that Facebook post where someone says, I don't understand how people can be so stupid to keep voting for this party. You know what I mean? And the person who's asking that is actually the fool. Why don't they go and ask why people keep voting for a particular party?
Or why don't
you know
you
what
vote
I mean?
for a different party?
Exactly. So you've got to find out from people, why do they keep doing it? You know? I mean, there are many reasons why people keep doing it.
Do you think maybe-
And I hope I'm sounding neutral, guys, because I don't have anyone I favor.
Aye.
I'm just,
You
I've voted for different parties in my life.
which
Many parties.
it's fine. You want to
Many
do.
parties.
Fine.
Municipal elections. No, it's a private matter. It's a private
Fair
private
enough,
matter.
fair enough.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Well, I can talk about it, but you need to be mysterious in life,
Hey, we need to be England.
Jimmy or England, like Jimmy.
Gotta be
Germany.
mysterious.
Or Italy. All right. The next question I had
Mhm.
from our general questions is your take on the economy. Main point being the load shedding. What's your take on that? How does it affect you as a creative, as an artist?
Okay, so I think it affects everyone. As a creative, as an artist, funny enough, I've never experienced a power cut during a performance. Never. I don't know if the clubs I go to have generators.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
The W
But,
Club, the Woodmead one
but yeah,
had a
I've never
generator.
experienced, I've
Isn't
never
that
been affected
amazing?
by it. Once actually I was doing an Instagram live and then the power cuts, but it wasn't like a club performance. So it's not that big of a deal. But obviously, yeah, impact on the economy. Look, other African countries long ago accepted that, hey, power supply is a bit sketchy. And people from Malawi to Zimbabwe to Kenya, all over, they use generators. Yeah, you move on, you adapt. Yeah.
Who
Damn.
are you voting for this
Mhm.
coming elections? That's
Who
it.
am I voting for?
Yeah.
That's
And
a very
why?
good question because
And why?
I kind of expected you to ask me that. And my honest answer is I don't know who I'm voting
Okay.
for. in the
Also,
coming
Chim, you can't be
elections.
asking such questions.
No.
That's a private.
No, he can. No, he
Okay.
can.
It's a
He
private.
can. No, he has the right to ask.
Hey,
But my answer is I really don't know right now. I remember my first time I voted, I knew who I was going to vote for when I got out of bed. Then in the shower I changed my mind. No, for reals.
It'd be like
For
that.
reals. Like
It'd be like that.
that,
You see,
that
shower
happens.
thoughts are
Like guys, you know, in the
crazy.
election queue, hey, you can change your mind in the queue.
Yeah.
Because someone behind you will be talking about something, you're like, nah, actually, you know,
Actually,
I'm not gonna
not
do
doing
this.
you
Yeah.
know? So it's variable. I could say something today. Next thing, I'm a member of that party, you know, or of the opposition or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, people change, man. People change.
All right. It's fine. There's a lot of things that you omitted from this podcast. Well, it's fine.
He said he's
Can't reveal
honest but not
everything.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's fine.
better
DJ,
to omit than to lie.
true.
There we go.
True. But it's,
There we
it's
go.
never better to omit than to be honest.
Okay,
Debatable.
I get your point.
Yeah.
I get your point.
Yeah. DJ Les, it has been exciting to have you here. I can't wait for part 2. We need to have a part 2.
I think so too.
We need to unpack, what's going to happen next year, the years that are
Yeah,
coming. I'm
yeah.
sure there's a lot that's going to come.
There's a lot
your way.
happening next
Sure,
year.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to just sit down and see how we can, serve our bloggers with the same content, just on a different level.
Agreed.
Yeah?
I agree.
Do you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to thank you for having me.
Yeah.
You guys have a wonderful team. I like the synergy. I like the energy you put into it. And once again, I'm really honored and humbled to have been invited. Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime.
I mean, for
Anytime.
coming. Whoa.
Anytime.
100%.
Ooh.
We asked this question. It's the first time we asked it.
Okay.
But we were supposed to do it from episode 1.
Okay.
Something with me.
So you have you have the, I don't know what to call it, king specialty.
The honor.
Yeah, the honor
Mm,
to be the first person to be asked this question.
okay.
As the Blowman podcast team, we are shining a spotlight on Black Youth Excellence. We want to know what they do, who they are, and the most important thing is what they stand for.
Mm.
So we want to know, as DJ Lesedi Mukoni, what do you stand for?
Sorry to dampen the mood or anything. It's a bit of a boring answer. But guys, I just believe in rationality and
Mhm.
common sense. Do the right thing.
Mm.
You know, don't be selfish, and think about the future and other people. I mean, I think about people who literally take such dangerous risks in life. You know,
Mm.
unnecessary risk. I mean, I could come up with a whole list of risks people take. Like, not to judge anyone. I don't want to mention anything particular, but we all know what's right and wrong. I believe we all
Yeah.
know what's right and wrong. I think about the future, use common sense. I know it's not that common,
Yeah.
but use common sense.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think anyone can give general advice for everyone that's applicable to everyone. I remember when I was growing up, you'd watch someone on TV and they'd be like, stay in school, don't do drugs, But for some people, staying in school is not helpful. Yes, finish up
Yeah.
to matric if you can. But getting an education beyond that is not what some people want to do. Some
Yeah.
people want to, explore their talent. Some people want to play professional sports. So the whole one size fits all advice, I don't think that's applicable. But just read and know about the world and travel. Learn people. People differ. People do things for particular reasons that you may not understand. Accept it. Be a good human being, a good citizen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Closing words from you, my beautiful lady.
Stuff. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like everything we spoke about in this episode was so insightful, and I feel like thank you so much
Thank
because
you.
also it's like the things that you spoke about was so very inspirational. You know what I
I
mean?
appreciate that.
Like it's not like there aren't really a lot of people like you in this country.
It's really
You get what
humbling.
I'm saying?
Thank you.
I mean, like your dedication to your craft and like your dedication to your business is so admirable.
It's
It was so like it's
huge.
beautiful.
It's huge.
That-
It's
But
huge.
yeah, I don't want to ramble. But like, yeah,
It's
thanks.
huge.
Thank you.
Shout out, man.
And people are
Sasha.
probably asking themselves, how did you get DJ Les? How do we know about him? Literally, we were hosting this event, and I went onto the page and saw who are the people who are going to be here, and I saw DJ Les is going to be part of them. I was like, oh, interesting. Could be something here. Let's bring him on the show.
Mhm.
And look at what we had, guys. You know,
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
man. Yeah, it's the best. Thank you so much for coming through. I can't say thank you enough. You are great. There's a lot that's coming your way.
Thank you.
Continue having that mentality. Continue having the vision that you had. Yeah, never change. Continue to preach your belief, your mindset, because someone out there needs to hear it, and it will change their life. Trust me. There's a lot that I've learned just by sitting here, listening to you. So I'm sure it's gonna do the same, on the other
Yeah.
side
Thank
as
you.
well. So
Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
we
Thank
love you,
guys.
we love you, we love you, we love you, DJ Les. And we can't wait to hear
Love
your
you guys
set after
too.
this.
No, fully.
Literally coming up
fully.
like
I'm gonna be
in
vibing to
T-minus
it. I'm gonna be vibing to
1
it.
minute.
So be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So be.
Awesome stuff, guys. Looking forward.
But yeah,
sure.
from
And
the Blumman podcast team, we thank you.
absolutely. And in closing, how do people get in hold of you? How do people get?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it simple. The best is Instagram. Then any future updates or whatever, I'll post them on Instagram. So that is _ Lesedi Mukoni at Instagram. That's Lesedi Mokone. And any other socials and everything, I'll communicate on the gram.
Fully.
Alrighty, that's where you have it, Blommers. It's our episode with DJ Les. It was fun. It was exciting. The What's Popping Melville event was, and a success. From ourselves and the rest of the team, we say good afternoon and God bless.
Bye.